Hey there, all you cool, epic, and awesome listeners. Welcome back. You're now listening to episode 28 of the Cool, Epic, Awesome podcast. I'm Matt, your co host,
I'm your other co-host, Joe.
and we finally made
Yeah.
it. This is
We've been talking
Barbenheimer.
about this episode since we started the podcast. I remember, our first episode, I mentioned Barbie was one of the movies I was really excited for.
Yeah, so this week we got Barbie, Oppenheimer, and I also recommended Mid90s. So we
And
got
then
a pretty
we
packed episode.
also have my list from last week. I said the top 10 creature designs that we've seen in movies. So we'll get to that at one point today.
For sure. So yeah, I guess we might as well start with Barbie, right? So Barbie, Joe and I actually got the privilege of being able to see it a day early.
Yeah.
They had these a bunch of Regals, I think, in AMC's had the Barbie blowout parties where you could get tickets that was a day early. So it was pretty cool. Everyone came dressed in pink outfits and stuff, and
Yeah. We
it was
weren't
fun.
really the target demographic for that day.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. And speaking of that, I guess actually no, I'll get into it later.
Yeah.
But just to talk about the movie, I guess to give a little rundown of the plot. So it follows these Barbies that live in Barbie land, and everything is perfect for them. Life is perfect. They wake up every day. Every day is the best day ever. They have no problems. And then one day, the main Barbie, who's stereotypical Barbie, who's played by Margot Robbie, she starts having issues. Like she wakes up and her hair is all messed up. The water in the shower is too cold. Her milk is spoiled. Like stuff that shouldn't be happening because their world is supposed to be perfect. And then things go on. You find out that it's because something got messed up in the real world that's causing her Barbie to
I
be
think it was
messed up here.
they're playing with them the wrong way or something. So what they say?
Yeah, it was just the kid who's playing with you
Yeah.
is sad, so it's making you sad or something to that effect. So she has to basically go into the real world and find who's playing with her to try to fix it.
Yeah.
So you also have some other stuff going on. You got the story with Ken and how he realizes when he goes to the real world that in the real world it's ruled by men, while Barbie Land is ruled by women. So he gets tight,
And
goes
then
back to Barbie Land, and
no, I also the Kens are kind of disrespected in Barbie Land. Not I wouldn't say disrespected, but they're just kind of brushed off. And then he goes to the real world and people start to actually talk to him, and he starts to get more confident. And then he goes into they're at school and he goes into a library and he starts reading all these history books and books for men and stuff, and he just and he sees that men have basically been ruling everything. So he's like, oh my god, going from Barbie Land where everything is ruled by Barbie, it's kind of he just goes crazy and goes back to Barbie Land and kind of tells everybody about it.
yeah, and then you have this subplot of Barbie Land becomes Kendom,
Yeah.
where all the men are all the Kens are in charge now, and they just give them all the stereotypical traits of toxic men, and I thought that part was funny how
yeah,
they all they love working out and beer.
it's just yeah, just stereotypical guys being dudes, that type of thing.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
And I also like the joke where they had to trick the men into getting distracted so that they could stop the Barbies from being enslaved by them, basically.
yeah.
And one of them was oh, you have to go up to Ken and tell me that you never watched The Godfather.
Yeah.
And it's he's like, what, you never watched The Godfather? And he starts saying, oh, it's a metaphor for this. And it's just funny because
the movie was actually really funny, honest. I laughed out loud multiple times, which usually I don't do during a movie.
Yeah, I will say that I saw the movie twice. On second viewing, it wasn't as funny. Obviously, that's because I knew the jokes already. But a really funny movie should still be able to hit after multiple viewings.
Yeah.
There was still a lot of good jokes in there, and a lot of good funny character moments. What's his face, Alan?
Alan, yeah,
he was a great character, played by Michael Cera.
I love Will Ferrell's character. So he plays the Mattel CEO, but he's comedically I like how do I explain it? Like the Barbie chase scene is like a perfect example.
Yeah, he was funny. Like they just made him like super goofy and just doesn't
Yeah.
know what the fuck he's doing. Um, but yeah, I wanted to talk about like when I first walked out of it after the first viewing, I was kind of like turned off a little bit because the movie was way more like political than I expected it to be, and there's a lot of like pushing an agenda for sure. Which I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, especially because if you think of like who the target audience is, it's definitely not like men, I would say.
Yeah.
But I just felt like some parts went a little bit overboard with like how they basically portrayed all men as like bumbling idiots. Like there's not a single male character in the movie that can be taken seriously.
Well, I mean, they don't really interact with any real men in the movie.
I mean, the
It's just
whole
like
like
well,
the
it's like
heads of
well,
of Mattel, they're like the
well,
men in
that's like
charge.
that's the whole joke. It's like the CEO is like a toy company.
No, I get it. Like I get it. I'm not like offended by it, but I just felt like it was a little bit much
Alright.
at points. Um, and what I was gonna say before, I'm like confused on who the target audience was for it. Because the second time I went this morning to watch with my sister. She wanted to go, and we went. And there's like a bunch of little girls that came. They were like wearing pink bows, and they were in like Barbie shirts, and they like sat next. They were in the same row as us. And
Mhm.
towards the end of the movie, like the girl was like saying to her mom, like, "Mom, this is boring. Like I'm bored. Like
Really?
like the movies, it's really not made for kids." And like as I was watching again, there's a lot of adult jokes in it. Like
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more the message of the movie is definitely more adult because they're compared to like oh like usually I feel like kids movie be like oh like be a good person like like it teaches like very simple life lessons like this is like a pretty deep like theme for the movie.
yeah,
It talks about like woman's place in society and like what it means to be a woman now and you know I
mhm,
definitely think obviously the movie is geared towards women. Um but I still like I really like I think it's a movie every girl should go see. And I get some points like obviously I can't relate to everything because there's certain things that even in the movie they talk about that girls go through that like me as a guy will never go through.
yeah,
So like I feel like for obviously it's geared towards girls, but I didn't like feel like the message really it didn't bother. It felt I saw it more as like Barbie is a girl like teaching girls to be like whoever they want to be. It's not. I don't think it's like a bash on men. I think
mhm,
it's more just showing like you could do anything basically as a girl. Like you could
yeah.
be a CEO. You could be
Yeah, and I think the second time I watched it, I definitely wasn't as bothered by those things. I think it just
yeah
kinda, like, caught me by surprise
prize yeah.
when I first watched
No,
it,
yeah,
so
I didn't expect it to be that. I not that I have a problem with it. I just didn't expect the movie to be that have like so deep themes.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, for
um,
sure.
I knew that it was going to be somewhat like because if you watch all of Greta Gerwig's, they're very like female centric films.
Mhm,
Um, even like Lady Bird is a perfect example.
yeah,
Um, but I guess I didn't expect it to be the level that it was.
yeah, for sure. Um, but also another thing I noticed on the second watch was just, like, how much I liked, like, every single character. Like, all the Kens and all
Yeah,
the
all the Kens
Barbies
are great.
were just so well cast.
Yeah,
Like, especially Simu Liu stuck out a lot.
yeah,
I thought he was great because he was, like he was one of the he had, like, one of the
more
most
predominant like
speaking roles
Ken.
out of the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
Kens, yeah. Him and, Kingsley Ben-Adir also.
yeah,
Those 2 were really great.
yeah,
Alan obviously was great.
yeah,
And then all the Barbies I thought were really good.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
what's the
don't. There
name?
wasn't like a bad. No one. I don't think there was a bad performance in the movie.
Yeah. One thing that I wish maybe they should have done is have Helen Mirren's character play,
The
like
main, like that girl
yeah,
at the end. Yeah,
'cause she was narrating the whole thing, and I felt like it would've been cool if she, like, played
was
that
the one. Yeah,
girl as
yeah. I
well.
agree.
Um,
I like the joke with. I don't know. What are they saying to her? It's Barbie saying something about how she's not perfect, and then like how she goes. We know that this is a bad. casting for Margot Robbie. Like,
Oh yeah, she was like,
I forgot what it was exactly.
so it's basically when Barbie is having like an or Margot or I don't know, I'll just call her Barbie. You know what I'm talking about. When she's having like an existential crisis. Um, and then the humans are there in Barbie Land, and they're trying to like calm her down, and she's like, I just feel like I'm not pretty anymore. Like I don't look beautiful and perfect. And then Helen Mirren, who's the narrator, she basically makes like a fourth wall break and is like, note to the producers, Margot Robbie was not a good casting choice to get this point across. Because obviously like she's just naturally beautiful and like
Yeah,
hard to make her look
that
ugly
was that.
and ugly.
That was actually that was like one of the funnier jokes in the movie. Honestly, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I feel like all the Alan stuff I found really funny.
Yeah, even like the thing of him beating up on the dudes.
Yeah.
Like, there's like they have like those generic. So, um, the mom. We didn't even get to that part of the plot actually with the mom.
Oh yeah, so when Barbie ends up going to the real world, she obviously figures out that wait, like women don't have like equal authority and like power as men do. Like men rule everything in the real world. So she's like, damn, like this sucks. The real world sucks. And then she basically almost gives up on like trying to make the kid that's playing with her like make her love her again. But she ends up realizing that it wasn't the kid who was playing with her, it was the mother because she was getting like reminiscent because her daughter didn't play with her anymore and her daughter she had like an estranged relationship with her daughter.
Yeah,
So those like sad thoughts and like depressing thoughts that Barbie was having in the Barbie world were because of the mother being like sad, which kind of makes more sense.
yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, I was just
I
having to
feel like
take a
all of
water.
her films usually always have a good like mother daughter
Mm,
relationship in them.
yeah. I mean, you have to watch Little Woman.
I know.
Such a great movie. That and yeah, I was gonna say like this is her third feature. Um,
That's crazy,
I
dude.
think it's her worst though, and not because it's bad, but Little Woman and Lady Bird are just so good
Yeah.
that this didn't really come close. And I think it might have something to do with the big studio. Like Warner Brothers, obviously, they're not gonna let her do whatever she wants.
No,
Like
I
they
know.
definitely impacted some of the stuff in the
I
movie.
still think it was for her like really like big directorial, not directorial debut, but like her first like major film. I mean, I thought it was still like really good. It's
She's
definitely one of the
gonna,
best films of the year.
yeah, she's gonna be a hot commodity though,
Yeah.
because if to get into the box office, it's gonna make like over 300, I think 337 million
Yeah.
worldwide just in this weekend.
They said it was the highest opening for a female director ever.
It's probably gonna reach a billion, I
Mhm.
would say, just because it is this big IP and it's gonna have
Yeah.
strong legs. Um, unless there's like bad word of mouth, but I doubt it
Yeah.
because it's getting like really great reviews and stuff, obviously. Um, did you have a favorite scene that stuck out to you?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I liked. I honestly, I loved the when they did the "I'm Just Ken" dance number. Like, I thought that was really funny. Not funny, but like it was just like I don't know. It was good. It was honestly like a really good. The song was catchy.
No, yeah, I was gonna say that was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
I love that part. I loved um there's a lot of like other smaller parts
Yeah.
like when Ken is when the Kens are like in the house when Barbie like first gets back to their world and they're like
Yeah.
doing all like the manly stuff and he's like yeah where he's like talking about like how the real world's like run by men and he's like at first I thought it was run by horses but then I realized horses are just a man extender and all the other Kens are like oh and he's like explaining it's just like
Yeah.
it was just goofy like that whole
Yeah.
part was funny.
I was gonna say he was my favorite character.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Ryan Gosling fan. I know like people love him, but I will say I do like his comedic work better. I thought he was very funny in this because a lot of times it's harder to do comedy than drama,
Yeah.
and he's more known for being like a dramatic actor. Honestly, though, my favorite character was probably Alan. I just
Yeah,
thought he was like so well casted, and every single time he was on screen was like something funny.
yeah.
Although,
Nah, he
yeah,
really was like perfect for that role.
my second choice would have been Ken, Ryan Gosling's Ken,
Yeah,
for sure. Um, but yeah, so the other thing about this film is it goes into more of like sort of existential stuff of like what it means to be human, like being able to feel, and
yeah,
especially at the end when Barbie's talking to like her creator, and she's like, you have to understand, like if you want to become human, like it kind of sucks. Like you work all your life and you do all this and then like you just die. But
yeah,
Barbie was like, yeah, like I understand, but that's something that I want. Because she said she didn't want to be the creation. She wanted to be part of the creators,
yeah.
which
What was the
I mean,
line? What does she say specific? Like I remember she's talking to the woman that made Barbie. And she's
I,
saying like how she wants to like I forgot what she said.
I think she said like I don't want to be the idea. I want to be one of like
So
the
yeah,
the
something along those
dreamers
lines.
or
Yeah,
something. Yeah. But I didn't expect it to get that deep. And also like that's another thing where it's like kids are just not gonna understand what the fuck is going on.
yeah,
Dude, but there was like a lot of adult jokes. And I noticed in this theater there was a lot more kids. And a
yeah,
lot of the scenes that people laughed the first time we saw it, like no one laughed. Like the beach off scene. So it was kind of just like weird because like
yeah.
you could tell
I didn't.
that's
I
like
didn't think
a
that.
double meaning.
I don't know. I didn't think that. Honestly, that I didn't like that joke. That was really the only joke I really didn't like.
There was also obviously the part where Barbie and Ken go to the construction workers and Barbie's like, "Yeah, I don't have a vagina,"
Yeah,
and he doesn't have a penis. And you could tell like the mothers who brought their kids there were just kind of like
yeah,
a little bit pissed off. Not pissed off, but you could tell they were like, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
Like the gynecologist joke at the end. There's
I
gonna be
didn't think
mad
that was that
kids
bad.
talking about mad little girls talking about what is
I
that?
mean, that's like something. I don't think that's big. That one, that I don't understand that one. I think that one's fine. The penis and vagina thing, all right, like that I get. What's this doctor? Who like?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just like pointing out that
Oh, I mean, like no, I thought you meant like people were getting tight about it.
no. I'm just saying
Oh,
there
right.
are like a lot of adult jokes in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no reason to like not shouldn't get anyone tight, but yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, I don't know. The thing is, coming into this weekend, I expected to like Barbie a lot more, and
yeah,
like as we got closer and closer, I started getting like more hyped for Oppenheimer, and like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like the like reactions from people or,
yeah,
but I don't want to say I was disappointed, but I was expecting to love this a lot more than I did.
yeah.
Say that.
I loved it.
I would say like just to give my rating, I gave this a 4 out of 5 or 4 stars, so 8 out of
Yeah.
10. But it's closer to a 3.5 than a 4.5, to be honest.
See, I
Which,
gave it a 4.5. I mean, it is closer to a 4 than a 5, but
but I don't know what it was. There was just something about it that I just like didn't fuck with.
oh, also another thing I didn't talk about this. The set design was like fantastic. Like you feel like you actually feel like you're in like almost like a toy box.
Yeah,
Like the
it
set is
really,
really
yeah,
really and everything's practical, which is
I know.
cool.
That really was cool. And I actually saw on Twitter some behind the scenes stuff where the scenes like where they're traveling to and from Barbie Land when they're on the
I thought that was CGI, honestly, when
yeah
I watched. Yeah.
when they're on like the bikes, like they actually built a bike that has like 10 seats so that they
Yeah.
could film that scene. Pretty cool. Stuff like that's always cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just it was still
I don't
good. Like it was
yeah, it's
good, but it's just kind of like I'm just like I have mixed feelings about the movie as a whole. I don't
no, I
know.
really loved it. It's
I
number
think
2 on my list. I see it for like movies.
for this year,
Yeah.
man, I think it's like 10 for me.
I
But
still have to
either
see
way,
Past Lives though.
yeah, definitely gotta watch that.
Yeah.
Um, like Margot was great, and this is going to be great for her career because she, as great of an actress as she is, she hasn't really had a certified like box office hit.
Yeah,
I mean, she's had the Suicide Squad, which made like a lot. Not these, it was the original,
the
the first
original one.
movie,
Yeah,
which made like a ton of money, but it was also like terrible.
yeah.
Babylon did terrible. Um,
And
Amsterdam, which she was in, did terrible. She
what
has like
else?
a lot of flops.
Yeah.
So this being such a big hit is really gonna like people are gonna respect the fact that she can bring in a crowd. You know,
Do you think she does? You think Marvel ups their offer now for her to be Sue Storm after
um,
Barbie?
I don't know. I mean, apparently they're set on Vanessa Kirby. So if I was Marvel, I'd definitely try to lock her up.
Vanessa Kirby? Or
No, Margot.
oh yeah, no. I mean, I actually like. Actually, we could segue into if you want to talk about Mission Impossible, but I thought she was great in that. That was the first time I've ever seen her in anything.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just. I don't know. Do you want to say anything else about Barbie or no?
I mean, no, I loved it. I pretty much talked about everything I liked about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I had any more thoughts, but I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't want to like harp too much on the anti-men thing, but I feel like that's part of the reason why I didn't
I
like it.
I mean, I like personally, I saw it walking out of the theater. I felt like I didn't. That's not the message I took from the movie. I took it more as like woman can be anything, but I understand where that can be interpreted from.
Yeah. I just feel like at the like I don't know. I feel like it's just so played out at this point. Like everyone knows that for the most part, like in today's society, like women have it harder. I feel like most people know that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that, then you're just naive.
I
And
mean,
just
I feel like the people that this is
there
most
was one scene. Sorry to cut you off, but I just
no,
want to
I mean,
finish my thought before I forget. There was one scene in the movie that actually like kind of not got me tight, but I was like, what? Like, what is the point of this? When the mother is just going on for like 2 or 3 minutes speech about like how hard women have it, and it's like, oh, you got to do this, but you can't do this. You got to do this. Like, it's
but I
like
feel like that
like we
scene's like
like,
specifically for women.
bro, but we know this. Like, women know this. So like,
I mean,
what
not
is
everybody knows this clearly
and they're
because
not like
most
they're not putting that in to change someone's mind. Like if someone really thinks that like men have it harder, you think they're gonna like see that scene and be like, actually, you know what?
no, but I don't.
Women
Here's the
have it
thing. Like,
harder.
I don't think that that scene is like to piss off men. I think it's more of a scene for women to relate to.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I can understand that.
That's at least like how I'm viewing it. Because like as an audience member, like most of that stuff that she's talking to, there's a decent chance that a woman's gone through like at
Yeah.
least something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm just like we get it, you know? Like we understand women have it harder.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they just kept like going on and on
I
about
mean,
it.
yeah. Well, like we're not. This is a movie for women. You know,
Yeah.
those themes are gonna be like screamed.
Hmm. And yeah, I don't think that like affects like my rating. I still think it was a
Yeah.
very
No.
good movie.
Yeah.
But I just want to like point it out because it's like a weird time with that kind of stuff in Hollywood, where it's like you're like, especially just with how political like the world is
Yeah.
nowadays. Like you just got to be careful with like how far you go with your themes. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because it made 340 million, but I don't want to like ignore the fact. I'm not gonna like pretend that I didn't have like a certain reaction to that. You
Yeah.
know, I'd rather just express my thoughts. Um, but yeah, like I said, like that doesn't really like that's not the reason why I didn't give this like a 4.5. Like it's it's just like something that I noticed in the movie. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess now let's wrap up Barbie then.
Yeah.
Just we could read say the scores. I gave it a 4 star, 8 out of 10, and you
Yeah.
said you gave it.
I give it a 4.5, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, so still, I mean, to be a 4 star, that's still like one of my top 10
Yeah.
movies of the year. Margot was incredible, obviously, and so were all the Kens.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, all right. You wanna before we move on to Oppenheimer, you wanna just quickly discuss Mission Impossible because we
Yeah.
saw it, but we don't really have a lot of time in this video because we have a ton of or this podcast. We
Yeah.
have too much other shit. But
Yeah. You
you could
want to talk
talk.
about?
You go first, quick.
I mean, I've never really watched the. This is the first Mission Impossible. No, I lied. Actually, I watched the first one like a couple days ago, but I've never really like watched the franchise. But I actually really enjoyed the movie. I thought the plot was great. I mean, the action is always amazing. The stunts were amazing. That cliff scene is insane. I didn't know this, Matt. I was watching like a video of like behind the scenes. That jump that he did, he did that like 8 times.
Really?
I thought he did it only once, and they just used that take.
You sure? He did it 8 times.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's insane, dude.
That was like the big selling point of that movie, honestly.
That is like if you watch it, it's not. They spent months like building a ramp off a mountain, and like they had to fly in all the materials because it was so high up. It was like crazy.
Yeah, I think that obviously it's impressive. It's incredible. The fact, because I mean, I'm sure like stunt performer doing it wouldn't be as impressive, but the fact that like Tom Cruise himself,
Even the stunt performer, that's pretty insane, dude.
yeah. But the thing is, like, it was so hyped up, and then when it happens in the actual movie, it like didn't even feel that crazy. Like if I didn't know that he actually did it himself, I would have just been like, all right,
Yeah,
like But the film itself, I thought it was really good, but
yeah.
I didn't think it was as good as like John Wick 4.
No, the
I
action
don't.
is not on par. Like,
It's not. It's really not. I thought Haley Atwell was really incredible.
yeah. This was probably my like favorite role I've seen her in, honestly.
Yeah, I've
'Cause we
only
didn't
really
have much
seen her in
as Captain
Marvel.
Carter, really. Yeah, but she was great, and honestly, I feel like you can see them lead. I feel like she's gonna end up getting some type of spin-off or something.
Yeah.
If
I mean, I didn't love, like you were saying, you thought the story was good. I didn't like love the writing. I also thought like them using AI as a villain was kind of like easy, you know?
no, I liked how not so much the script. I mean, the script was like it's an action movie. It's not gonna be,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like the actual plot. Like I like the idea of like how every country, even countries that are allies, are in a race to get this AI. Like, and they won't share information with each other. I
Yeah.
thought it was really cool. Like I like kind of like a. I mean, it is a spy movie, but
Yeah, one
you
thing
know,
that I didn't like was, so in the movie there's like this MacGuffin, which is this key that
yeah,
if you have, or there's two pieces to one key that if you get both pieces together, you can unlock.
the
Well,
like
you can,
programming thing of the
yeah, you can
AI.
unlock something that basically lets you control the AI. But here's the problem with that. At the beginning of the movie, they tell the audience what the key unlocks, but the characters in the movie don't know what it unlocks. So we know the entire time. I feel like it would be better if we were along with the characters not knowing what the key was, or like not knowing what it went to. I thought that would have been like better. Like we as the audience, we already know what it unlocks. But the
Yeah.
characters in the movie, like they don't, they just
But I feel
know
like it
that it's
wouldn't like
important.
a lot of it wouldn't make sense then. Like how the AI like corrupts with the cameras and like you know what I mean?
I mean, they could have still had that scene, but just didn't show them locking up the AI with that key.
Yeah, but like use the audience. Like let's say you're introduced to the AI and they're all after the key. Like what do you think it's gonna be?
That's
Like
the
I
thing.
feel like
And
I would be
everyone's gonna
like
have their guesses.
so I feel like
Like,
I would be like, oh, it's gotta be like where the AI is like physically like it's
yeah,
computering. I not maybe not like exactly what it was, but I would have known the.
yeah, but still. Then why
Yeah,
don't you just tell the characters that? You know, I don't know.
honestly, yeah, I would have that I agree with. If they did like where the characters knew, but you as the audience didn't know until the very end would be really cool.
Yeah, because it would just be like another reveal. Like, oh, this is
Yeah.
what it is. Um,
Apparently the stunt he does in the next one is supposed to be even bigger than whatever he did in this, so I can only imagine what the fuck.
see if he hopefully he survives.
I mean he's still alive, so he's gotta have done it already.
No, I don't think or they didn't film the next one, or they didn't finish at least.
That ass?
Yeah,
Bro,
they
that shit
got
comes out like next year.
they got shut down because the writer's strike.
Oh fuck, dude. There's no way this is gonna get delayed.
Yeah, most likely a lot of shit's
Yeah.
gonna get delayed.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just move on to
Yeah,
Op.
let's
I
move
don't
on,
want
yeah.
to.
Oh, you wanna go in the news first or you wanna talk about it?
No, let's do Oppenheimer because
Alright.
then we'll do the news and then mid-90s after.
Yeah,
So, Oppenheimer. This is Christopher Nolan's, in my opinion, best film to date.
I agree.
Um,
I do agree.
I'm not the biggest Nolan fan, which is why I was so surprised that I love this as much as I did. But it basically follows like the Manhattan Project and like J. Robert Oppenheimer, who's basically the man who created the nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
So it follows like his life, but it's mainly set during like around the time of World War II, when there's this race to like, build this ultimate super weapon.
yeah.
So it serves as like a biopic as well as like
I feel like
a political drama
it was
about.
way more a biopic.
Yeah, it's definitely more about his character than
Yeah,
the
which I didn't expect, honestly. I thought going in it was gonna be like the story of the bomb, but it's more just the story of Oppenheimer. Like, not that it's a disappointment, but that's what the movie is.
Yeah, and he is like an incredibly
Oh
complex
yeah,
character.
such
He's
an interesting part. Like, just when you learn like all the shit that goes on in his life is like crazy.
I know. I didn't know all the shit about like the affairs that he had and like how he
Neither
was
did
a
I, dude.
how he was like a
Yeah,
womanizer and stuff, which like you wouldn't expect from like a quantum physicist.
yeah,
But yeah, so the film, it's very long. It's 3 hours. I think
yeah.
I think the runtime is warranted. I don't love long ass movies, but
See,
I,
this is where me and you disagree. Like, I still think it's a masterpiece, but I feel like it could have been a lot shorter, like a half hour, 45 minutes shorter. That's just me specifically, but I don't know.
yeah,
The-
I could understand like they could realistically cut like 20 to 30 minutes and
and it would
still get.
still be like, and you still get the whole story.
But the thing is, like, I was so engrossed and entertained in the story the entire time
Oh
that,
yeah, not to discredit the act. Like there, like there's so many good performances in this movie. Like all the scenes of the characters interacting are fantastic. But it's just, after a while, it kind of
yeah,
drags, and especially that this is not that it's boring, but it's a historical drama, so it's not like
Mhm.
constant action and
Yeah. One thing that I didn't expect from this was Nolan used his non-chronological storytelling,
yeah,
which I was like, how the fuck is he gonna do that for a biopic? But he made it work.
yeah,
They had basically there was basically like three separate like storylines
stories, yeah,
that you're following.
and you're
One is it's in color, and it's basically like Oppenheimer from being a college student all the way up until starting the Manhattan Project. There's another one that's in black and white, which is in the future, and it follows Robert Downey Jr.'s character, and he's getting put on trial or something. They're asking him about Oppenheimer and like trying to figure out whether or not Oppenheimer fed information to the Russians
yeah,
in order to help them create the hydrogen bomb. And then there's another timeline which is also in color. That's when Oppenheimer himself is getting basically pressed by a bunch of people who think that he was feeding information to the Russians. And you have like witnesses come in and testify for him and things like that.
yeah.
And you sort of like cut between these three different things happening. And I thought that just it's like a testament to how well it's edited because you're jumping around from timeline to timeline. Like some of it's in color, some of it's in
Yeah.
black and white, and there's like different events happening, but it was just edited together so well that you're able to follow the story
Yeah, I
cohesively.
really felt, even though you jumped around, I felt like I was never confused. I always knew what was going on.
Yeah. I mean, there definitely was a few points where I was like a little bit confused.
I feel like I'm more confused on the character because there's just so many characters in this movie.
Yeah. But the thing is that I think I've read somewhere that Nolan did this on purpose. Even like characters that had one scene, he cast like a notable actor to play them so
Yeah.
that people wouldn't get confused between who's who because they would recognize everyone and be
Oh,
able to like differentiate.
okay, that makes sense. Because like, what's his name had like one scene. Uh, Rami
Yeah.
Malek?
Yeah.
Him, right?
He
Yeah,
had
he
like
had literally he had like a 2 minute. I mean, his scene was amazing, but it was like 2 minutes long.
yeah. Also Gary Oldman. He only has like one scene.
Yeah.
Um But yeah, I think like on a technical level, it's like basically perfect. The sound was incredible.
Yeah.
Cinematography is amazing. Editing's amazing. The score so good. But a lot of Nolan's movies have great scores. Um, and it's like the
One
same composer.
one thing I wanted to point out too was actually the scene leading up to the bomb drop was probably the most tense I've been in a movie theater in like a really, really long time. And it's crazy because you as the audience know what you know it works because this is what happened, it was history. But like watching from their point of view is like you're just like on edge the entire time up until the
Yeah.
bomb drop. Because leading up to it, they also talk about how you would know this better, but so essentially there's a reaction, but like there's a chance. How do you know what I'm talking about, Matt? How it could like destroy the world?
Yeah. So it's basically like he's splitting an atom, but because of like um the atoms, like the particles are basically like getting ignited, and there's a chance that it can not it like won't stop igniting other particles, and it could like basically ignite the entire atmosphere, and then the world would just like explode. There's like a chance that that could have happened. So when they're about to drop the bomb for the test, you like don't know like whether or not that's gonna happen. Like obviously we know,
Yeah,
but like the characters don't. And for some reason, even though we like you were saying, like we obviously know, but my heart was like pounding through that
yeah,
whole scene. Because also there's the other thing of like he told Josh Peck's character like, yo, if the voltage goes like below zero, like click the button to stop it like immediately.
yeah,
And, like you don't know if that's gonna happen. You don't know if he's gonna have to do that. Um, so yeah, that scene was amazing.
yeah. There's so many good scenes in this movie, dude. I don't think about it. Like I have like three scenes specific. That's one of them. There's another scene where it's right after they actually don't show the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the movie, which I actually think was better.
Man,
And
I don't know. I'm kind of like indifferent. I just
because
I was kind of like
I saw people
confused
like
why they
upset. I
didn't.
saw people like, why didn't they show that? But the story's more about like Oppenheimer because at that point he know like in that point in the film like he knows what's gonna happen. He knows how many people are gonna die and all this stuff. So like the character is already accepting that. So I feel like them showing it wouldn't really serve a purpose because he already knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's not like he saw it himself, so
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
supposed to be more from like his point of view. Um,
I saw someone like was saying they were like, "Oh, this ruins the movie." I'm like, but the movie it's about Oppenheimer. I feel like I don't know.
yeah. I think I know what scene you're gonna talk about though, which it's my favorite scene. Is
Yeah,
like basically after. Well, I have a couple, like you said. There's so many good scenes, but it's basically after they successfully do the bomb test, and he kind of knows like, all right, this worked. So like, mad people are gonna get killed because of this.
no, I think it was after they bombed them.
Was it? Oh, actually, yes. You're right.
Because
You're right. You're
because
right.
they remember he made the comments like I bet the Japanese didn't want remember something like
Yeah, yeah.
that.
He's like, I bet they. He's like, I don't know something, but I bet they didn't like it or like some shit like that. I don't
Yeah,
know. But yeah, so after they successfully drop the bombs, he basically gives like a speech to a bunch of people in the audience, and like, well, he's in like an auditorium or something, and
yeah.
he gives a speech to a bunch of people there, and you could like see he's like mentally deteriorating. He's like tweaking out. The sound in that scene was so good. It was like it was like haunting almost. Like it felt like a horror movie because it basically the only thing you could hear was like the muffled voice of Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
and you like couldn't hear any of like the crowd screaming. It
All
was
you
sort of
heard was like the like he would say something and then you'd hear like them get up. You hear the noise of the chairs moving when they got up, but you wouldn't hear any like other like voices or any other sounds. It was just like him and I guess the furniture in the room.
yeah. That scene was just crazy, bro. And he
Yeah.
like he gets up and then he it shows him like walking towards the exit and he like it steps down. It shows he steps on something and it's like a
A burnt
completely
like
burnt
corpse.
corpse.
Yeah. There's
Um,
also the girl. There's the shot of the girl's like face melting.
yeah. He sees like all the people like either throwing up
Yeah,
outside or like there are people screaming and consoling each other. And I thought that was just him basically seeing like the effects of the bomb just on like the people around him. It was like
yeah,
him imagining it, which I thought was it was like a pretty cool way to show like what he was thinking. Um, I like was surprised by like because I never really thought about it myself, just like how much like emotion or how much like guilt that would
he
have.
felt. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like because you have that's like a lot to like deal with that knowledge, like knowing that you are indirectly responsible for like 70,000 or whatever it was, like 200,000 people getting
yeah.
killed. But it's also
And
like
you could see it in the cat. Like as he gets older, like he gets like skinnier and like you see it like take a physical toll on him.
yeah, and you could tell that like he like didn't want to do it. He was just
No.
he kept like telling everyone like whatever they do with what like it's not our fault just because we make it. Like whatever
Yeah.
the government decides to do with it, like that's not in our hands. But then eventually, like when it actually happens, he feels responsible for it.
Yeah.
But the only reason why he was doing it was because he knew that if he didn't,
The Germans would.
yeah, the Nazis were going to do it first. So he
Yeah.
knew he had to. Um, but yeah, I was surprised they went more into that because I just like never thought about that really.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, and you feel for him because like he was in the like well, like what would anybody else do in his position?
yeah, and I think that could like sort of be part of the reason as to why he had the affair with that woman. He might have just been like so
Stressed out.
stressed out
Yeah.
about.
I mean, not that it's like okay, but
Obviously, it's not justified, but that could be like
you can
why,
understand. Yeah.
you know. And yeah, so he has an affair with some woman that he used to like be in love with, played by Florence Pugh, and she ends up like killing herself because he
Yeah.
won't like
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
back with her, which is another thing on him. And he basically can't be with her because of the Manhattan Project because he has to
Yeah.
be
Away
in
from her,
Nevada.
and he can't tell her anything.
Yeah. So you just see like I don't know because he's like an asshole for cheating and like he did a
Mm.
couple like questionable things, but he's also just like been through so much shit
Yeah.
that it's like you feel for him, you know. Um,
What did you
but
think of Emily Blunt's character?
she was great.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
she did a great job.
I thought that was
Um,
I mean, I haven't seen her in much, but that's the best thing I've seen her in.
that's another thing. Like she's raising those kids by herself, and like she
Yeah.
barely sees her husband, so she like turns to
You can see that
alcohol.
she's an alcoholic, yeah. Like it was actually a really cool shot of when um he comes home and she's like drinking and you hear the baby crying and he was
Mhm.
saying I forgot if he got a promotion or got something and like she starts like hugging him and stuff and he's like, "Oh, like shouldn't you get the baby?" And she's like, "I've been getting him all day," and like grabs a bottle and like walks
Yeah,
away.
yeah. So that's just like another thing. Like he has an alcoholic wife
Yeah.
now that he has to deal with, and, like all this shit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I was saying before, so like on a technical level, all of it was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Then you go down to the performances. There's so many good performances. Like every single character was great. If we go
Yeah.
down the list, like Benny Safdie, who was a director, he he
Yeah, which I
plays
had no idea. I didn't know he was a director. He's fucking amazing, dude.
he was yeah he was the dude who basically like wanted them to make the hydrogen bomb,
Jim
and he
Bond, yeah.
always had these like crazy ideas and stuff. He was great. Um, who else? What else am I thinking of?
Honestly, you know who was really, really good?
Who?
The guy Alden Enrich, whatever his name
Oh
is.
yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
He was the guy who was he
He's
like
with Robert Downey
RDJ's
Jr.
lawyer
Yeah,
or something?
lawyer. But honestly, he went toe to toe with RDJ and was, you know,
Yeah.
and he was great. I don't know. I liked him
Also,
in
yeah,
Cocaine Bear too, but
we didn't
this
even
is,
mention Matt Damon too.
oh yeah.
He was great.
I saw some online like no one can like think about what the two movies he added to his filmography this year.
Air.
This Air, which is like considered that's honestly one of the best sports movies I think made recently,
Yeah, definitely.
and now Oppenheimer, which looks to be like one of the it's Nolan's best film by far, not by far, but I mean it's definitely his best film in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Him, Dane DeHaan was really good. He
Yeah,
was like a random one. You had Florence Pugh I mentioned. I'm trying to think.
Jack Quaid. He wasn't in that much,
Yeah,
but
he wasn't in that much. I mean, you have Devin Bostic or whatever. He played
yeah,
Roderick. He was fine. He had like a couple scenes.
yeah.
Josh Peck was fine.
I forgot he
Um,
was in there. And
Einstein was pretty good. I
who
thought
played Einstein?
I forget his name, but he's been in a couple other Nolan movies. Um, yeah, another scene I wanted to mention, this the ending. Um,
Yeah,
where it's like that ending meant so much because it first of all it showed because it basically by the end it gets revealed that like Robert Downey Jr.'s character is like basically the antagonist of the film.
yeah,
He has like a grudge against Oppenheimer, so he like purposely leaked out information to like get him in trouble. He like he's I forgot he gave someone access to it like his file or something
yeah,
that was able to get him in trouble. And he always held this grudge because he thought that on this one random day when like Oppenheimer like went to or RDJ's character like wanted to make Oppenheimer like the head of one of his departments or something or one of his schools. And he was like talking to Einstein that day. And after like he had a conversation with Einstein, Einstein just like ignored RDJ as he was like walking away. So Robert Downey Jr.'s character like thought this whole time that he was like, what did Oppenheimer say to him? Like he definitely like
yeah,
said something about me. And then by the final scene, it's revealed what he said, and it's like it's such a like insane and like thought provoking line
yeah.
where he's like, "Yo, you know, like Oppenheimer says to Einstein basically, like, you know, when I showed you these calculations earlier that
Well,
said that,
we didn't. So there's a scene in the movie where they're like they figure out like okay, there's a chance that we can blow up the world if we set off this bomb, and he befriends Einstein and says like oh like we're building this bomb and like there's a chance like he shows him the formula and he asks him to run the number like to run it and he refuses because he said he doesn't want to be involved in like anything like that.
yeah, so anyways, back in that last scene, he's basically like, remember when I showed you those numbers that would that there was a chance that after we push that button, basically like the whole world would be destroyed. And Einstein's like, yeah. And Oppenheimer's like, well, like it was. And it's like, I don't know. It just the
Yeah.
line, like with the and then like the music came in.
No, but then also it pans to like it just you see like a bunch of like rockets, like huge
Yeah.
ass rock, you know,
But it was
and
just like it's so crazy
it's
because
true.
like
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of
although
it's scary to think about.
although the world wasn't physically destroyed, the fact that they created that bomb sort of like
It's kind of the
just
beginning of the end
yeah. Like there is something capable of
of
destroying the
destroying
world
all
that
life
like
on Earth. Yeah,
exists.
yeah. It's man made.
That line just hits. I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
And like, bro, I was like after the movie, I was kind of like horrified a little bit. I was like
yeah,
having
dude.
like
I was saying this too. Like it's at times it feels like a horror movie.
I was having like existential dread, just like
Yeah,
thinking about the fact that, bro, what if like we just got nuked? Like we would we would all just be dead instantly.
yeah, dude.
It's just I don't know. Like especially right after I watched it, I would just felt like so uneasy. I felt like
Yeah,
anxious, like, and
yeah. It is scary, dude.
I love movies that can like make me feel something like that, you know?
Yeah,
Even though it's not a good feeling to feel. Like the purpose of a film is or the purpose of art is to make you feel something.
yeah,
So if a
absolutely.
film can accomplish that, then you know,
Yeah.
uh, I don't know if I had anything else though. Did you say your favorite character? We didn't say our favorite characters, did we?
I mean, it's hard not. I mean, obviously, I'm going to say Oppenheimer just because
Yeah.
he's the most interesting character. But there are a lot of good characters.
Yeah, I loved Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
His
he's
he
gonna
had
he's gonna he's gonna get some awards for this.
yeah, he'll definitely be nominated
Yeah.
for best actor. And if it's the you want to know what's crazy?
Well,
Since like the writers and actor strikes are going on, a lot of movies might end up getting delayed till 2024. Like a lot of heavy hitters.
yeah. Oh, you were
Like
saying Dune, right?
yeah, so the Oscar oh, like the Oscars might end up being like a Barbie versus Oppenheimer like
Be kind of
situation.
crazy. Yeah.
Like, bro, tell me you wouldn't be surprised if like the two frontrunners for Best Supporting Actor weren't Ryan Gosling and RDJ.
Yeah. And yeah, I
It's
mean,
po- it's possible
there's
because there
definitely
haven't
a
been
decent chance. Yeah. Because think of it like besides those two supporting actors, think of like another supporting role that like blew you away this year.
um I mean Past Lives doesn't really have like
This
those are
two. I mean,
incredible
it's
performances,
co-leads.
but it's
Yeah.
like basically two co-leads.
Yeah.
Um it is tough, yeah. I mean, I would say maybe someone from Beau is Afraid, but if anything it would be Joaquin as Best
Yeah.
Actor. But I don't think just because of
I
like
don't
how
know.
like weird that movie was, I don't think he's gonna get nominated. But yeah, especially if like because usually like the awards baity shit doesn't come out until later in the year.
Yeah.
But if they start delaying shit, then it might be a sucky Oscars.
It's looking like everything's gonna be delayed for a while, dude.
Mhm.
2024 is gonna be like nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, nothing coming out because everything's not filming now.
Oh, that's true. But well, I
Yeah.
guess the whatever's left to release this year, which is still a lot that I'm excited for. Um, but let me whatever. I mean, let me just see if I have any more closing thoughts on this. I don't know. I guess my biggest takeaway from it was just like how much like dread I felt after watching it, and how it's like
Yeah.
such like a pessimistic life view kind of
Yeah.
like man is just like burdened to destroy each other,
So yeah.
you know. But uh, did you say your favorite scene? I forgot. Mine was the when he's giving that speech.
Yeah. But also another scene that I really liked was the scene with Emily Blunt's character talking to the lawyer, and
Yeah,
she just kind of like chewed him to shreds.
yeah, and also like you'd expect after like everything Oppenheimer like put her through that she'd like
Yeah.
not like rat him out, but maybe like not be as you know defensive of him. But
Hmm.
she like fully supports and defends him because she knows
Yeah.
like he is innocent in this.
Yeah.
You know. I also it's not one of my favorites, but I really like the scene at the end where I forget. I think it's also when Einstein's talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, in the future, like they're gonna give you an award and like say like no harm,
Yeah.
no foul." And it shows him when he's older, and you could tell he's just like so fucked up. And
Oh
like
yeah.
they're like giving him the award and saying like good job for like creating this. Meanwhile, like back then they were trying to like throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Like the United States was basically trying to violate him, even though they're the ones that basically forced him to
Yeah.
do this.
And only was he was mostly just speaking out against like weapons. He's
Yeah,
just saying like like get rid of all nuclear weapons, and they
yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it's like
yeah.
I'm glad that I watched it too because I didn't really know too much about like the story. I knew what the Manhattan Project was, but it's just like a very
Yeah, I
very
didn't know.
he's like a very interesting man, and it's like such an interesting story. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess to give it a rating, this is rare for me, but this was a 5 star, 10 out of 10. Let's join the list. I only have like 26 or 27 5 star films out of like 1,200 watched.
Yeah.
So it's tough, bro. It's tough to get a 5 star for me, but this was like I couldn't find really anything wrong with this movie. I loved it from start to finish.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I gave it a 4.5. I mean, it still is a masterpiece, but for me, I just feel like it was a little too long. If they cut this down maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it'd probably be a 5 star.
I was gonna ask you. So who won Barbenheimer weekend for you? Which one did you like better?
Um, I thought Barbie was more entertaining. Like I enjoyed watching Barbie, but I think Oppenheimer is more of a more well made. Not that Barbie isn't well made, but I just Oppenheimer is like a work of art. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because they both are very good.
Yeah, but you gotta pick one, bro.
I don't
Who
know,
won
dude.
Barbenheimer? I'm
Coming
jacking
in at
Oppenheimer smoked Barb,
no,
bro. I'm jacking
it's
it's not even.
close.
I think it's not even close in my opinion.
No, I mean they're two like completely different movies. It's hard to compare them. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. But that is good because imagine you had like this two huge blockbusters coming out and they were like
Yeah, I
similar
know.
movies. The fact that they were on complete opposite spectrums, I think,
Yeah. And I
probably
think that's
helped
why they're
both of
doing
their.
both. They're both doing so well.
Yeah, Oppenheimer did like what 170 or something, or one. I posted on the Twitter. I forgot. Maybe it was 145. Either way, I
Yeah,
think the budget was 100 million and it made like either 145 or 170 just in the opening
yeah,
weekend. It was the Christopher Nolan's biggest opening out of anything that he's done that's not Batman, which is impressive because obviously
yeah.
Batman's gonna sell tickets just for being Batman. Um, but yeah,
But yeah,
that'll do it. We finally got to talk about Barbenheimer on here.
yeah.
It's a long time coming.
I wonder what the next one will. I feel like more studios are gonna try to do stuff like this.
Yeah. Well, one that was gonna be cool would have been Saw X and
Like
FNAF
FNAF,
on the
yeah, but
same day,
Saw
but
pussy out.
yeah, Saw X. They probably, I don't know if like they heard some news or like maybe there was a test screening for FNAF and it was mad good or something. So they were like, you know what, let's just not release it on the
Yeah, I am
same
kind of
day.
surprised that they. I thought FNAF would move if anything.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, whatever. That means we're getting. They also put out a picture of like John Kramer in the movie.
Yeah, so apparently it takes
So
place during like
it's in
Saw
between
1 and
Saw.
2.
Yeah, it's in between 1 and 2, which is cool.
Yeah,
So hopefully, Carrie Elwes or whatever comes back. He's the dude from the first one.
yeah.
Um, because he came back in a couple of the other ones.
Hmm.
But anyways, let's move on to some other news in the film world. I think the big thing, which happened basically right after we released last episode, was we got our look at Wolverine's new costume in Deadpool 3.
Oh yeah.
And we got photos from the set and like some set videos of them fighting. And it's kind of like surreal. He's been playing the character for 23 years, and it took that long to give him a comic accurate suit.
Which is crazy.
You think it looks good though, right?
Yeah, I love it. I think it looks great.
I think it's weird how they like went about like releasing the picture. Like basically Ryan Reynolds just put like a super blurry set photo. I wish Marvel would have like put an official like image or something.
Yeah. No, I think they did release one.
But it's still that same picture from it's like it's not like a an
I
image
feel like
from the film.
I
It's
feel
like a
like
set
honestly
photo.
they would have I don't know. I feel like it has to do with also the strike. They probably wanted to like release something because I think that was like the day before the actor strike.
Yeah. So they had to like scramble something together,
Yeah.
basically. I also want to talk about so on set, um, you could see there was one picture from the set where in the background there's a huge like 20th Century Fox logo that's like destroyed,
Yeah.
which I don't know what that means for the story, but
I feel like it looks like that that's like where they get pruned.
oh yeah, so it seems like this is gonna have something to do with Loki, the TV show, because the TVA from Loki are supposed to be involved,
Yeah.
and in that show, in the last episode. Or either the last or second to last, Loki and Sylvie get pruned and end up in this place where it's like I forget what it's called, the Void,
Oh yeah, the void.
where it's like all this destroyed like random debris and stuff. And from the set photos, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
There's all this like debris and stuff. I know there's some like leaks and rumors going around that what's it called?
What?
That the TVA is going to be like pruning most of the Fox X-Men movies just because of how like fucked up their timelines are with like time travel and stuff.
I mean that
Which
would
would be
make
kind of
sense.
funny,
Yeah.
because like it's always been like a joke how hard their timelines are to follow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems cool. It sucks that the strike is happening now because it's gotta suck for the actors. They're in their like groove, especially for like
Yeah.
superheroes. Like Hugh Jackman's gonna have to stay in shape now longer just because it's not filming right now, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but it seemed like they were towards the end, or at least past the midway point of filming. So
I mean they
what do
moved
they?
the release date up.
Yeah. So.
But
But yeah, it looks cool. I also
yeah.
Deadpool suit. We talked about it last episode. I really enjoyed how it looks. I like this one better, I think, than his previous
Yeah, I
suits.
agree. I like the hat better. Not hat. I'm sorry, hat almost. The red better.
Hmm.
Like I like the it's brighter. It seems a little bit more comic accurate.
Yeah,
Not that the other suit was bad, but just an improvement.
yeah. All right, so sticking with Marvel,
Yeah,
we got a second trailer for the Marvels, which I enjoyed. I think I'm gonna like this movie. I don't know.
yeah. It looks promising.
Yeah, and I just like Nick Fury a lot. That's why I've been watching Secret Invasion. I don't know if you're caught up, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I know like the something like I know the thing with the Avengers blood thing, but I'm not like up to date on like what exactly is going on. I know like a
Yeah,
mad people died apparently.
yeah. It's, which like this is people complained about Marvel being too goofy, and now they release like something serious that's actually like it's pretty good. It's like a political drama. Like no one's watching
Yeah.
it, so I don't know.
You see how
People
much
could
they
just
spent on it?
over 200 million.
Which is honestly insane. Oh, how? I don't like what like
Well,
it's not even like they
the VFX I'll say with Scrolls is very good, and the de-aging on Nick Fury is very good. Um, but still, I think a lot of it has to do with, and a lot of the reason why you're seeing like the movies that are coming out now have like these huge budgets is because most of these filmed during COVID. So that came with other expenses, like having to social distance, and like it would take longer
yeah.
to film, things like that. That inflated these budgets. So I think you're gonna start seeing films made for less money in like the next few years.
Yeah, you were talking about that and
It's like it's something that you don't think about, but like it
yeah.
makes sense, you know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think of that second trailer?
I thought it was good. I mean, it looks really like promising. It looks
Yeah,
like the whole idea of them switching powers, like when they try to use them, is like an interesting and pretty unique idea. I don't think I've ever really seen something like that.
yeah. One thing I'll say though is they all get like new suits. Um, Captain Marvel's suit, like the the suit itself, like it's a very basic like superhero suit. There's not like a bunch of lines all over it, which is what people get mad at the MCU for doing, like adding all these lines. It's literally just like it's basically a solid blue on the bottom, gold in the center, solid red on the top, or maybe reversed.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the colors are so diluted.
So yeah.
It's like the same exact color as like Henry Cavill's Man of Steel suit.
I think the reason why I don't agree with it, but I think the reason why they did it is because uh Miss Marvel's costume is pretty bright and like and in terms of the colors, like the colors pop more, and even Monica Rambeau's one, which hers is the best out of the three, I think.
Yeah,
Hers actually looks sick. Hers is black and white, which is a pretty unique. I feel like you don't see a lot of black and white superheroes.
yeah.
Um, but
So you think they
those
wanted
look
to differentiate
yeah.
from?
I don't know. I think they should have just still done it, made it brighter, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, I hope the movie's good because this is like the worst movie to come out at this point because people are like saying that Marvel's like done now and like um what's it called? I don't know what the word is. Or like just superhero fatigue is happening and
yeah.
like Marvel can't release anything that's gonna make money. And like out of the upcoming slate, this is probably like the least exciting movie that's
What
coming
else is
out.
coming out? Like, what's the next movie to come out?
Like Deadpool 3 is after that.
Really?
Yep,
When is Deadpool 3? May?
I think so.
And
So it's gonna be like it could have been like
oh,
Deadpool 3, Blade, Thunderbolts, like any of those, and like Marvels is the one that happens to be coming next, and it's like the least exciting.
yeah,
I still think it'll make money. The first one made 1 billion.
yeah. I think it will
Um,
too. Miss Marvel,
so
I think is gonna like people are gonna like her.
yeah, I really liked her. I liked her
Hmm.
show. So
Yeah.
yeah, show looks good. But
Hmm.
yeah, this is something that you also mentioned prior to this episode starting, which was the fact that Disney kind of took a step back, and now they said they're gonna put less money into their Marvels and Star Wars stuff, which
Which
I
actually,
definitely
yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I think it's the right choice.
Yeah,
You're seeing like these movies have like diminishing returns, and
yeah,
it's really not worth it. You're gonna put in like 250 million to make a movie that makes like 600. Like
yeah.
like how much money are you making off that? Like 50 mil.
And then they just
Like
throw it on streaming like in like a month. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I know you mentioned this before, but like Garth Edwards' next movie, the creator, how you were
Yeah,
saying the budget for that's like what, like less than 100
eight.
million?
It's 87 million, which is like I feel like the last couple movies, the budgets have been like fucking 252. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
And that,
Barbie was what 145,
yeah.
and Oppenheimer was 100. Those are pretty like compared to the last couple movies that came out. Those are pretty cheap.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
Barbie,
not cheap,
the thing
obviously,
about
but
Barbie though is it had a huge marketing budget. You could
yeah,
tell. Yeah.
yeah.
But either
I
way, it'll
feel like
make
a
its
lot of
money
the
back.
even the marketing. I feel like a lot of it was like social media though.
Bro, think about all like the events they did and like,
Yeah,
excuse me. I don't know. I feel like they were marketing it for a long time and doing a lot, you know?
yeah,
But either way, I think it's good that Disney's not gonna just shell out money just because it's Marvel. They're like, fuck it, we'll tell us like 250 mil.
yeah,
It's really not worth it. Um, but yeah, there's a couple other trailers. So we got our first look at Ridley Scott's Napoleon, which
yeah,
is starring Joaquin Phoenix. It's another biopic. That looks really good. I actually really like that trailer,
yeah,
and I love Ridley Scott. Joaquin Phoenix, my favorite actor, and that's another one where like I don't really know too much about Napoleon, so it's like interesting to me. Like I
yeah.
just
I know, like he got exiled towards the end of his life, but really that's about it.
yeah, like obviously we know like a Napoleon complex is
Yeah,
trying to make up for your height because he's short or whatever. I wonder how they're gonna handle that because I think Joaquin's pretty tall. I guess
is he
still
really?
use. Yeah, I think so. He's
Oh,
taller
okay.
than Napoleon.
I guess just make everybody else around him taller. Who's playing like the opposite him?
The woman,
Yeah.
I,
I feel like
she's
it's somebody
someone
big.
relatively big. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Look, I'll look it up really quick. So I remember seeing it before and I forgot her name.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, bro, it's Vanessa Kirby.
Oh,
Yeah. So she's getting big. Like you said, in Mission Impossible, you said that was like the first time you've seen her,
yeah.
right? I remember she was in Hobbs and Shaw, and I thought she was pretty good. I think she's a great actress. I think she would also do really well as Sue Storm if Marvel decides to cast
Yeah.
her. But yeah, she looked cool in that trailer too. Um, I don't know. I like Ridley Scott. I feel like it's just gonna be a cool movie.
I
Joaquin's
agree.
obviously he's gonna put in a great
He's been
performance.
on, yeah, his last couple.
It was reminding me of Gladiator a little bit. There was like that part where he has like that like crown thing that he's wearing in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like his character in Gladiator. Um, but then yeah, there was another trailer for Warner Brothers Wonka, which is
What
the
did you, yeah. I was gonna say, what did you think of,
this one played before Barbie actually today. It's starting to grow on me a little bit, but I feel like Timothy can't really pull off that goofy character. I don't know. It was
yeah,
like
I agree too.
it was like a little bit corny. Just like his line delivery just wasn't hidden for me.
Yeah, I feel like every time I watch it, I feel like Tom Holland would have like smacked that role out. Like, it would have been fantastic in it.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I just feel like I can't take him seriously. I don't know.
I think the look of it, like he has the look, but it's just like the way he delivers his lines. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I think Tom Holland would have done all right with it too. I like how it's like obviously goofy. Like they're not living in like a like a.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how they were gonna approach it. But I
I
like
th-
that they have like the Oompa Loompas and the like more like whimsical stuff.
I think that it is supposed to be like a prequel to Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka and
Yeah,
the Chocolate Factory, which I haven't seen in years. I probably will
yeah,
rewatch
we'll probably
that.
have to rewatch that.
But that's like known to be like a really great film. And Gene Wilder obviously is like such an iconic
Yeah, yeah,
actor. Um, but I mean, it looks all right. It looks cool. It's coming out during Christmas. Seems like it'll be like a fun family movie.
yeah.
It'll
I feel
it'll
like there's
probably
not
make
there's not much coming out during Christmas. I feel like.
yeah, it'll make decent money, I think. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we'll see it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last bit of news was we got these crazy casting announcements for Superman Legacy, just like out of nowhere.
Yeah,
They
we
went
got
ahead and you could go ahead say it.
we got let me pull up the cast. But I know Hawk Girl got cast, Mr. Terrific, and I believe Metamorpho, right?
Yeah, and Guy Gardner.
Oh, and we didn't talk about that.
Nope.
Oh, I don't know why I thought that was, but we got Guy Gardner. Oh, here's the list. So Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl. I haven't really seen her in anything. Eddie Gathegi is gonna play Mr. Terrific. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner Green Lantern, and then Anthony Carrigan as Metamorpho. I don't really know. I mean, the only one I really know is Nathan Fillion, but I like that they're not shying away from the comic booky side of Superman. Like I like that the superheroes are going to be established already, and that he's not going to be the first like super. You know what I mean? I like it better
Yeah,
that it's going to be very comic booky.
I agree. Because it is going to be different from what people are used to.
Yeah,
Because usually for like an origin movie, like maybe they'll have not that it's an origin, but it's like his first
yeah,
movie. They usually have like maybe they'll hint at like one other character or something. Like now they're gonna have like all these like decently well known heroes that are just established already. They don't have to be introduced, and it
yeah,
feels a lot like how it would be in the comic books or like in the animated movies. And people are so used to superheroes at this point that like they're gonna be fine with like keeping up with it, like picking up
yeah.
all
And
these
like
characters. You know?
like it's Superman. Who doesn't know Superman's origin story? If you
Yeah.
ask like 10 random people on the street, like probably 8 of them know what Superman's origin story is.
hmm
You
No,
know.
but I was referring more to the fact of like people will be able to keep up with like all these like
Oh,
characters,
with it. Oh yeah, I'm
and
sure. I
heroes.
mean, look at Guardians with James
Yeah,
Gunn directing. Like Guardians, I we didn't even know those people when we saw it. And I feel like Guardians has a lot of There was like obviously the four Guardians. Thanos is in it. The
yeah,
Collector. Who's the other villain? Ronin's in it. Like this, so there's a decent amount of people in it,
yeah.
and he
And
balances everything pretty well.
I don't love the Nathan Fillion casting. I really don't.
I like it.
I,
I
that
think he's gonna get
that
killed
was like
off.
the biggest example of like James Gunn just hiring one of his friends because he thinks like it would be funny.
I mean,
He's gonna.
he's played Green Lantern before.
I know he's gonna give him a bowl cut. He's played Hal Jordan though.
I know, but still, I like the
Dude,
casting.
he James Gunn is like keeping like the Suicide Squad's gonna be canon to the
No,
DCU.
I don't think it
Well,
is.
Peacemaker is so, and Peacemaker was part of that team.
I mean, I think they're gonna explain it, but I don't think it's gonna be
And like Nathan Fillion
canon.
played a character already in that.
I don't think it's canon anymore. But didn't his
Well,
character die anyway?
yeah. So he cast someone that's like already. I mean,
I mean, they do that
I
in
don't know.
Marvel all the time. Like Gemma John played. She
Emma
was in
Chan.
Marvel. Gemma
Yeah,
Chan. I'm
but
sorry.
yeah. No, but I feel like this specifically just because like it's well known that they're friends.
If he would have cast him as Hal Jordan, I would have been pissed. But I like it's a one of the lesser popular Green
I mean, to
Lanterns.
me, I don't really care because I don't like care about Guy Gardner. I'm not like a huge
Yeah.
fan. But I saw
No,
people
that's what I'm
on
trying to say.
Twitter
Like,
that were like getting annoyed about it because like they're
well,
like
yeah,
I
obviously
really love
there's like
this character, and
it's not there's gonna be fans of Guy Gardner that are gonna be a little annoyed.
it just feels like a joke casting. Like it literally to me, it feels like James Gunn was like, "Yo, this would be mad funny." I just did it. Like
I think he's gonna die in the movie. I don't think he's gonna stick
I
around.
don't know, maybe. I feel like
Maybe that's how the Green Lantern ring
oh,
gets
it
to Hal
goes
Jordan.
to it's possible
Yeah.
because they have the Lantern show coming out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like I don't know. The castings are fine. I don't really know the actors too well,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. But
Neither do I.
it sucks that like we're getting this news now, and now they're going to be on strike for
I
however
know.
long, so we're gonna have to wait.
And who knows what other castings they had, like probably that were about to sign they can't announce.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Good.
Um, but yeah, I think that's it for the news, right?
Well, I was gonna talk about the One Piece trailer.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we could go into that. They released a
So,
second trailer for the One Piece show, so we could
so
talk about
I
that.
want. I mean, obviously, I watching anime and stuff, but what did you think? Because you don't really know anything about You know, like the basics of it.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the trailer?
I actually like this trailer a lot better than the first one.
Yeah.
Um, I like how they showed off Luffy's powers a lot more, and like I like how they look. Like when he was hitting that guy a bunch of times, like with his arms, and it like
Yeah.
it kind of looked like how it would in the anime, you
Yeah.
know. Um, the only thing I'll say, and I mentioned this to you before, is like
Yeah.
something about the show just looks very cheap. I don't know what it is. I think it's like the color
The lighting,
grading or
yeah,
like the
you're saying.
lighting or the cinematography or something. I like can't explain it.
Yeah.
But if I just look at like any shot in the trailer, I'm just like, dude, this looks cheap. I felt it more in the first trailer than this one, but I don't know. You're
Yeah.
like the thing is for you, like you're the One Piece fan. So like, what do you think about this trailer?
So it's as manga accurate as they're gonna get. It I mean honestly it looks like they ripped it straight out of the manga. It's spot on, but is the story gonna work? But I'm interested to see like what people who have no exposure to One Piece like think of this because it is a really like fucking out there, you know. Even in the trailer, you see like there's a character Buggy the Clown, and I don't know if you because there's a scene in the trailer where like there's a guy floating and like there's
Yeah,
like
his
pieces of
all his
it.
arms like
Yeah,
flew
so
up.
his he has the chop fruit, which means his fruit gave him the ability like his body could like separate.
Okay.
And it's interesting too that it's because in this is a big thing in anime too. A lot of anime characters will announce when they're like before they attack, and
Hmm.
they're doing that in the live action, which I think is pretty. I don't know how it's gonna work. I mean, they played it for a joke in the first trailer because like Luffy's like I forgot it. Luffy did a move and he said like oh all great fighters announce their finishing moves, and then the other character was like no they don't. So I wonder how they're gonna like are they gonna play it as like a joke or is it something that people actually do?
It'll probably be like an ongoing joke where
Yeah,
like they'll make fun of Luffy for doing it, and then like,
yeah.
wait, who was making fun of him?
Zoro, the guy with the green hair.
Yeah. This is what's gonna happen. He's gonna make fun of him for doing it, and then like at the end of the season, he's gonna do it himself.
Yeah,
So
probably.
it's like, probably exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, it seems like it's more important to me that you like it than that I do,
But
because
I'm
it's not like
interested to see like what people who don't know One Piece like think of it. Because this is like you know, they want more. This is like the whole point of them making the show is that the West is you know, they get exposure to one. I know it's more popular now, but One Piece, you know, compared to like Naruto and Dragon Ball, like isn't as popular. Like I love One Piece, but I feel like most people it's Dragon Ball and Naruto you hear. Those are, like the more mainstream anime.
yeah,
So this is like them trying to reach out, you know, trying to make it popular in the West. So
yeah. I mean, I think to me, compared to like any um any of like live action anime thing that I've seen, this looks the most promising. It
yeah,
seems like they care a lot. Like they even got
yeah,
the original voice cast to come back and do the dub in Japanese, which
yeah.
shows that like they're involved, you know. So must be at least decent.
It's
That comes
exciting.
out August, right?
Yeah, August 31st.
All right.
So
So
I mean, I'm honestly gonna watch the first episode, but I don't know. We'll see
really,
how I like it.
you might not finish it.
I loved Cowboy Bebop. That's like if you ever watch animes, you would actually really like it. It's very beautifully shot and anyway, um, they made a live action version of that on Netflix, but like it was lacking all of like the artistic vision and like the style of the anime. Like it was so different, and it was like I watched the first episode and it was like nothing like the anime. And I just couldn't. I didn't want to watch anymore because it was like a fucking disgrace.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. This looks way more accurate, and the original author and like the producer of the anime, uh, whom Oda. I don't know how to Neki Oda. I don't know how to say his first name, but he's an executive producer on the film, the series, which is like that's pretty big. It's not, you know, it's not like he was. It's an executive producer. It's not like he was just, you know, he was
Hmm.
involved in the story and the casting and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So that does give me some hope.
All right. Well, Yeah, no, I mean, maybe I'll check if you watch it and say it's good. Maybe I'll watch like an
Yeah,
episode just to see.
yeah,
Um, all right, so you wanna get to your list
yeah.
that you had?
So I had two honorable mentions.
Wait, but you gotta introduce what the list is, bro,
All right,
first.
so the list is like the top 10 like creatures that I've not like like a character design. It doesn't have to be like specifically a creature. It could be like like
Yeah,
a
it's
villain or like something along those lines.
yeah, just like within movies, like the top 10
Yeah.
like best looking like designs for creatures or whatever.
Oh,
So
I have one. I mean, I have one from a TV show.
that's fine. Yeah. No, this is a cool list. I'm excited to like talk about
Yeah.
these.
So
So
I had two honorable mentions. One of them, this is pretty like weird, but I actually let you remember the movie Monster House?
mhm.
The actual design of the house, I
Okay.
think, is really really cool. I don't know if you remember what it looks like, but it's like a
Yeah, I do.
rundown like wooden, but it's like they play it for like teeth and the eyes are like
Yeah. No, yeah,
I
I
don't know. I
remember.
really like
Like the
it.
tongue is like a rug, like a
Yeah.
carpet, right? Yeah, yeah. That was a cool one. What
And then
else?
the other one I had was actually a movie I watched this year was this movie Krampus, which they
Krampus?
yeah. I don't know if you've seen the it's like this giant like demon like goat, but it's like all practical effects, so it looks like sick.
I'll
It's
look
like
these up as
huge.
your Krampus. Wait, keep explaining it. Sorry.
It's it's basically like it's a horror movie about like there's this curse during Christmas if people I don't know.
No, I
And
was saying explain the how the
the
design was.
design. So it has like the coat that like you know that Santa would have, but he has like huge like antlers and it's on
Oh yeah.
hooves and stuff, and he has like a
Mm,
it's pretty like
it looks cool. Yeah, I'm looking at
yeah.
it online right now.
There's a lot
Interesting.
of cool creatures in that movie actually.
Really?
Yeah, now that I think about it.
All right. Good. So
Yeah.
you wanna start with your 10, I'll do my 10. We'll go through
Well,
it.
you want to go like 10, 10, 9, 9?
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. Unless you want to just do your whole list
Nah, I'd rather
first.
go back and forth because I'm
All right.
curious.
Yeah,
So you
so
can look
you
them up.
go ahead. Give you 10.
All right, so for number 10, I actually had the creature from the Black Lagoon. Um,
The OG one,
the
right?
OG one, yeah. It's such like
I
a
was thinking
simple.
about putting that one on.
It's
But
such like a simple design, but it just looks like I don't know. I just love the design of it.
yeah, it definitely influenced a lot of like films
Yeah.
past that. Like Hellboy, the dude in Hellboy, what the fuck's his name?
Oh,
That fish
Fishman,
monster.
whatever. Yeah.
Him, yeah, the other Guillermo del Toro, Shape of Water, that
Shape of
creature.
Water. Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a sick design. I
Yeah.
agree. Um, so yeah, my 10, I had from A Nightmare on Elm Street. I had Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Uh, we actually talked about this either like one or two episodes ago. Um,
Do you have like a specific like maybe I don't want to say like, but like you know how he manipulates himself into different.
yeah,
Is there like one specifically that sticks out to you?
one that I always thought was funny and like cool is when he's like becomes the TV.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that too.
That one's a cool one.
And he's
It's
what
like
does he say? He
practical.
says like, what does he say? It's like,
He's like welcome to prime time, bitch, or something,
yeah,
and like shoves her head in it. Uh, yeah, just like his design, like from the first one, the fact that he's like a burn victim and he has this fucked up face,
yeah.
his claw hand, it's so iconic, and he's like up there with my favorite horror icon. So yeah, that's my 10.
For number 9, I have I actually I forgot the name of it, but I wrote what is the snow thing from Star Wars?
The Wampa,
The Wampa. Is that what it's called?
I think
Like the
so.
giant ice monster?
The one that like Luke cuts off his
Yeah.
arm. I think it's yeah, it's called the Wampa.
The one, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, before I was making this list, I was just looking at like, just creatures from other movies, and I never
Mhm.
actually like because I've only seen it really when I'm younger, but it's fucking pretty terrifying. Like
Yeah.
this monstrous, like it's like a bear type of. It's you very unique looking.
Yeah, it's like an abominable snowman, but it has like these two horns coming from like the sides.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I
What did you
haven't
have for
seen
8? What were
or
you
no,
saying? I'm
my
sorry.
9, my 9. No, I was gonna say I haven't seen those like the original Star Wars films in a few years. Maybe I gotta.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'll rewatch them.
My number 9 was Nosferatu from the
Yeah,
1922 Nosferatu. So it's just like an eerie, creepy. He's like this tall, pale. Like
creature look. Yeah,
for 1922 when it came out, like how they made this dude look, like I thought it was very effective for the time, and he's like a genuinely like creepy
yeah.
character.
I'm very interested to see what's the name of the director that's doing this again. The Nosferatu
Um,
remake.
Robert Eggers.
I wonder how he's gonna approach the creature design.
I feel like he'll probably stick like
I think he's gonna
faithfully.
stay. Yeah, he might put his own. I feel like it'll be pretty accurate to the original, but it might have like some slight differentiation, like
Yeah,
differences.
but yeah, it's pretty basic. I mean, I'm gonna for whoever's listening, if you want to follow along with these, I'm probably gonna post after this comes out. I'll post on the Instagram like all of our picks, like pictures of all of them, so you guys can look at them as well. But yeah, what? So you could say your number 8 now, because that was my 9.
So my number 8 is actually from a TV show.
Mhm.
It's from Doom Patrol, and there's this villain called the Candlemaker,
Okay.
and I don't know. He's kind of like this giant like skeleton creature, but like his head has like a I don't. Well, I can't really explain it that well. You have to
It
look it
has
up.
like an yeah, I'm looking at it. He has like
Yeah,
an eye and then like 2 sockets.
yeah, and then the head is like candles.
Yeah, no, it's pretty sick. I mean, I've never seen it before.
I don't
Um,
like this. I don't know if it's like it's not really accurate to the one from the comics, but
I like the design. I think it looks
yeah.
good. Um, but yeah, all right. My 8. This is like a it's like pretty common one. Um, Davy Jones for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He has such a cool design with like the tentacles coming down his face. And he was also one of the first like effective fully VFX characters. He looks incredible for when the movies came out.
That's
And
how.
it,
So like, oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, even when I was a kid, I was gonna say I just always loved how he looked. And it just makes it that much more like impressive that it is done with VFX and it still looks that good.
yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that's like what I wanted the like the pirates and not the fish people in One Piece. Like that's what I wanted them to look like.
Did they show them in the trailers yet or
They
no?
showed like bits and pieces. Like I mean, small like glimpses at them. One of them, like there was another one that they showed that Sanji's fighting, and that one looks a little more accurate. But like the other one, the one of Arlong didn't look too. That one looked a little fit like weird to me. I don't know.
Hmm. But
But
yeah, what was that? That was 8. So what's your 7?
so for 7, I actually had the. No, wait, that was 7.
That was my
Wait, what was
8, but
it?
you're up to 7 because you went
Oh,
first.
okay. I have King Ghidorah actually from Godzilla,
Okay.
which
I forgot which one that looks like.
that's the one with the 3 heads.
Oh yeah, that's a cool one for
Yeah,
sure.
that's like one of the like that was one of my favorite, especially as a kid too. I love that
Is there one
design.
in particular, like from the new movie or the
I
original?
mean, I don't know. Do you remember the game, Destroy All Monsters? I don't know. Do you remember the game we used to play?
Yeah, yeah,
That design, you know, his like scales are like golden, basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
That is a sick design. He's like one of the best Godzilla villains, I think. Um, but
yeah.
yeah, I didn't expect you to toss a Godzilla. What are they called? Kaiju on there?
Kaiju, yeah.
But I ain't mad at it. Can't lie. I'll give you my 7. This one's probably you weren't expecting on this list, but from the Harry Potter series, Voldemort.
Really, I would have.
Yeah,
I thought you would have put like maybe one of the Dementors.
Mentors were
'Cause
cool, but
they are pretty.
I really love Voldemort's design. I love like his like obviously his face like
Yeah,
with the slits instead of the nose, how like pale he is, and his like hands always stuck out to me. The way like his fingers are articulated when he's like holding his
Yeah,
wand. I don't know if you're like into Harry Potter really.
not too much. I mean, I know obviously what he looks like. I remember seeing something that like apparently his like look in that book is like way more like grotesque.
Yeah, it's described as like more grotesque.
What do you
But
remember
they
specifically? Or?
I don't really remember. If you look up like an artist rendition from the book, you could probably find someone who drew it. But I think in the movie they wanted to make him more like he like
Human,
sees
yeah,
himself as like perfect and like as a god. So they wanted to make him look more
yeah.
like clean cut and like, you know. But I always loved his design. And like Harry Potter is one of my favorite franchises. So,
I feel like for um the series, the Harry Potter series, to differentiate from the movies, they should go like a little bit more accurate to what he looked like in the book. I feel like that would be a good idea.
yeah, it probably would because it's going to be hard to like top his look in the
Yeah,
movies.
and I mean they could lean more into like the darker sides of. I mean, not that I know Harry Potter, but I'm sure there's a lot more darker stuff that happens in the books than the movie.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So I'm sure they're gonna lean a little bit more into that.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, what's your six
Okay.
though?
So six actually was this is Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors,
Mm,
which honestly I always have really loved. Even as a kid, I remember seeing that, and I always loved the design. Like it's just this giant, almost like Venus flytrap.
yeah, that is a yeah, it's a pretty sick design.
Yeah,
I feel like we watched this movie as kids, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
yeah. I actually saw the play with my girlfriend, and
Oh, really?
actually I really liked the play. Honestly, yeah, it was good. And like they had like it was like a giant puppet like on the stage. It was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that reminds me to like rewatch this movie, you know.
yeah. It is
But
good.
yeah, it is a really cool design.
Yeah,
I like it. All right. My six, another basic one, Xenomorph from Alien.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
It's such a sick design. Like it
yeah.
just looks so cool. And when you think of like an alien, you think of like a gray man with like a big head. So like Ridley Scott just
Yeah.
like went like out of left field, just made up his own like I don't know
It
what it's
honestly just set
inspired by.
precedent for like basically all horror like alien movies. I feel like not that they all look like xenomorphs, but I feel like you could always see some like resemblance of a xenomorph in a lot of like the horror alien movies.
Yeah, definitely it takes inspiration.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was my six, I think. So now we're in the top five.
yeah. So for
So
five,
yeah, interesting.
I had Pennywise. It
Okay.
doesn't either iteration. They're both, and I love like the similar to like how Freddy Krueger like can manipulate it, like the way he looks and stuff.
Hmm.
Pennywise is similar. Like a lot of the like in the newer movie, doesn't he turn himself into, like a giant spider?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love when they do stuff like that. Like I think that's awesome.
Do you prefer the newer one if you had to pick one?
Um, I feel like I like the older just because it's a little like more vibrant. Like the colors pop a little
Yeah.
more. But I mean, they're both really good designs. They obviously went for something different.
Hmm. I kind of prefer the new one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I like the teeth. I
nothing
like how
against
I like with the teeth.
Tim Curry, but
Yeah,
all right, my number five though, from a Guillermo del Toro movie again.
is it
Um,
the blind man, whatever the guy's name is?
it's the Pale Man from
Pale man. I know
Pan's
what you mean.
Labyrinth. Such a cool design.
Yeah,
It's a faceless. It's basically like a faceless creature
and he
that
sees
his
like
eyes are on his hands, so he holds like his hands up to his face.
yeah,
If you like look up a picture of it, such a cool design. And Guillermo del Toro is just a beast with it. Like
yeah.
he always has such great creature designs. And Pan's Labyrinth has a bunch of cool creatures in it. Like the actual, I forget what the thing's called, but the main thing that like talks to the girl.
Oh, that
It's like it has antlers.
yeah, that, like deer looking thing.
That
It
thing looks
almost looks
sick
like it's
too.
made of wood.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
But oh yeah, I was gonna say before I forgot to mention this, but yeah, Pennywise was like almost on my list. Like I cut him off at the last second.
you should have done some honorable mentions, dude.
Yeah, I should have. I like that our lists are mad like different
Different,
though.
yeah,
Yeah. I think the rest of ours are gonna be different for sure.
probably, yeah.
Tier four.
So 4, I mean, it was the xenomorph, but specifically like the queen xenomorph. I don't know
Okay.
why I always thought that design was. I remember like in Alien versus Predator, like I remember seeing it. I thought it was like so cool.
Yeah, it's just like a bigger, beefier version
Yeah,
of. Yeah.
the xenomorph basically. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sick design. And fourth, I had from Hellraiser Pinhead.
Oh, I forgot about Pinhead.
Pinhead is just such a sick
Oh,
design, bro, and it goes
honestly,
so
that might have made my list.
it
Honestly,
goes so well with the franchise.
yeah.
Not only like the actual like Pinhead, but the robes
The
that he
ro-
wears, like
Not
the
even the
not
the
robes, but the leather and like
the Cenobites in general.
yeah. I was gonna say the
Yeah,
Chatterer, they're all sick. I just like the aesthetic of them, but like Pinhead
yeah,
specifically, if I had to pick one.
yeah.
So yep.
But for what are we on number 3?
Yeah.
So for number 3, I actually had Mecha Godzilla. This is like I fucking love the Mecha Godzilla design. I think it's so cool. And there's like there's one specifically because some of them it's like too plain, and then like other designs they have it where it's like too modern and it looks like just like basically an Iron Man suit. But there's one like specifically that like balances them both. Honestly, one of the best designs for Mecha Godzilla is in the fuck's the movie?
A new movie or no?
Relative, not like last 10 years.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like
Oh,
the
Ready Player One.
really.
That Mecha Godzilla design is like fucking awesome. I wasn't really like a fan of the one from the like American Kong vs Godzilla. I didn't really like
Mm,
that one that much. I gotta like find it. I'm gonna find a picture and send it to you.
all right. Yeah, it's a cool design. I fuck with
Yeah,
it. Number three for me. This is gonna I think trick you up because you probably thought it would be higher, but the Thing from the Thing is my number
yeah.
three. Yeah, goes
I
without
figured.
saying.
Yeah,
It's one of like the best uses of practical effects and practical gore within like a creature design. And I think the look I like most is when he has like the dude's head, and you know what I'm talking about. It's like
yeah,
his head, and then he has like his stringy arms like coming down, whatever. That's my number three. Such a great John Carpenter movie. We talked about
yeah,
it one of our episodes, but yeah. So what's
yeah.
number two, the runner up?
For number 2, I had uh The Fly
Okay,
from.
that's another one that just narrowly missed my list.
I'm surprised that didn't make your list. I loved the design of The Fly. I thought it was like it's just like I don't know something about it. How it's like it's not like it's human enough where you recognize that it used to be a person, but it's like indistinguishable from a human as well. It's like
Yeah,
the perfect balance.
you're talking about the not. You're talking about the David Cronenberg one, right?
Yeah,
Or the
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Well, why would?
There's like an original
Oh,
one.
the no, no, not that one.
Yeah, no, that's a sick one. Again, that probably would have been an honorable mention on mine. Um,
Yeah.
but number two for me, so you're not gonna expect this, but the heptapods from Arrival.
Really?
Yeah, I love their designs. I think it's just such a sick alien design. It's like so out of left field. Similar to the xenomorph, but I love how at first when you
Wait,
see
how do
them,
I heptapods? Am I spelling wrong?
heptapods, Hepta pod. You know them, bro.
Actually, I mean, like this. I feel like that didn't look like this in the movie. That looks pretty cool. I mean, it's cool. I just didn't expect it to be.
Well, at first in the movie, you only see like their bottom half,
Yeah.
but then like it gets revealed that they have these huge bodies, and I don't know. I really like how they
Are they
look.
supposed
Like
to be humans from the future? Or are they
no, they're
no?
aliens. They're from the future, but they're aliens
The
from a different
aliens.
planet. They're just like it's not like going into the movie. You're like, yo, what are the aliens gonna look like? And like you would
I remember
never guess
like
this.
that was like one of the biggest because I haven't seen what they looked like before. I didn't know anything about this movie, and I was like, what are they going to look like? I was so curious.
Yeah, it's like not what you'd
No,
expect.
yeah, no. I thought maybe that their legs were like that was like a hand. It was like a giant like. That's what I thought
Yeah,
at first.
yeah. It could be because I'm biased because like Arrival's my favorite movie of all
Yeah.
time, but their designs always stuck with me. I just love how they look.
No, it is a really cool design. I just forgot. I honestly forgot what they looked like.
Yeah. All right. You want to give me your number one?
I mean, my number one is going to be pretty obvious. It's The Thing. That's one of my favorite movies. I mean, we've already talked about it enough, how great it is, but I'm more interested to know what your number one is.
All right. You've never seen this movie, but this is hands down like the sickest creature design I've ever seen. And it's all practical.
What is it?
And it is from the movie Legend from 1985, The Lord of Darkness. Look it up and
Oh,
you'll
I've
know
seen that
you'll know what it
before.
is.
Yeah, I've
Just
seen that design before. That's
uh,
sick. Yeah, the giant devil dude.
yeah,
Oh, that's all. Yeah, I actually like. I saw that and I was like, I probably would put that on my list, but I just didn't know. I never watched the movie.
yeah.
Is the movie good?
It's okay. Um there's a lot of like creatures in it and stuff. I kind of want to rewatch it honestly because it's directed by Ridley Scott. That's another one. And
Is it Tom Cruise?
yeah, Tom Cruise is in it.
Oh
He
shit!
plays like the main dude, but when he's young. But dude, the design is just so sick.
Yeah.
Like, just look at his head. Like
No, I
those,
know. I've
the
seen that
horns are
before. I feel
massive.
like I've seen that in like other. I've seen that in advertisements and stuff.
Yeah, and that's another one that's
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. So yeah, I've always seen that design and like I never really knew what it was from.
Yeah.
And I ended up watching the movie. But
I like how like the horns are like ridiculously huge.
yeah.
That's such like a unique look on a devil.
hmm
I kind of want
But
to watch this movie now.
yeah, I would recommend it. It's like a fun watch. Um, but yeah, all right. That was a fun list though. I actually really
Yeah,
like that one.
that was a pretty good list.
Um, but yeah, like I said, I'll post
We'll
both of
post
our
it.
lists
Yeah,
like with the pictures of the creatures, and then you guys could figure out who had the better list.
yeah,
You know, it's close to be honest. We had really different lists though,
yeah.
but
I
all right.
mean, like our top three was pretty like similar.
I mean, we just had the thing. What were the
Oh, you
only
didn't have the
ones?
fly. Yeah,
I didn't know the fly.
I'm surprised. I really thought the fly was gonna be like top five for you.
I don't know. I liked it, but not as much as the others.
Yeah,
But all right. Anyways, we have one more film left to discuss, which I recommended on the last episode. And this is really the movie that I credit with getting me into film. I had a friend like show this to me once when I was at school. And I just like
yeah.
I after it was over, I never like had felt like that moved by a movie before. And I was like, damn, like cinema can do this to you, huh? And that movie is Mid90s, directed by Jonah Hill and starring Sonny Solijic.
Yeah,
And it's basically about Sonny plays this character who's like a young kid. He lives with a single mother. He has like an older brother who like abuses him. He doesn't have a lot of friends. And he ends up getting caught up with like these kids who are older than him, who are like skaters. And he starts hanging out with them. He skates with them. It's just about him like
yeah,
learning to. He like basically just grows up. It's like a coming of age story.
yeah.
He learns like what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's shot like that. It's shot incredibly. The aspect ratio I
Yeah.
think really works for it.
The
How it's
music is really, really good too.
yeah, music's really good.
Even at the like all the like the I guess not costume design, but just all the outfits that they wore. Honestly, were all like were great. I don't know if that like it sounds weird, but like I would wear a lot of the stuff that they were wearing.
Yeah, and it feels like authentic.
Yeah,
And you want to know why? This is like one of the sickest things about the movie to me is Sonny is like an actor already,
yeah.
but the rest of the cast, Jonah Hill, just went to a skate park and like picked out people and was like, "Yo, like, do you
It's
guys
kind
want
of nuts. Yeah,
to be in this movie?" So that's why they are so authentic, because like they're playing themselves basically.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I love Sonny's character. Uh, I feel like I don't know if I necessarily saw myself in him because like I wasn't like ever in a situation like he would be
yeah.
with like a single parent and
But
you
there
know
were
like
certain
he
moments
doesn't have a lot of money.
like I could relate to. There's one specifically. Not the scene where he goes into his. It's not me because I don't have an older brother, but where he goes into his oldest brother's room and he's like looking at all the stuff, like looking at like the shoes that he has and like the jersey and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I remember like going into Dad's closet and like looking at his old hockey stuff, like his like hockey jerseys. Like I always like I remember that feeling of because he would tell me not to like just not to go in the room and make a mess, but like I was just going because I wanted to see everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of like I feel like the stuff I relate to more is like the peer pressuring and like knowing what to
Yeah,
do and like what not to do, which like you see him start to fall into it a little bit when he starts drinking a lot and like smoking cigarettes
cigarettes. Yeah,
and yeah, there's like I don't know, him like getting into fights with the other kid who's like jealous of him like getting picked on by the kid
yeah,
and all this. Like it's all stuff like all kids go through, you know? So there's a little bit more extreme in this.
yeah.
I love like the bantering between the characters. It really
It
does
feels all.
feel
It does feel authentic. Yeah.
like bro like they're like it's weird that this was like in a movie, but one of the first scenes we're introduced to the characters.
Yeah,
Like
they're talking about like, would
they're
you rather
talking
just?
about yeah, they're saying a would you rather. And it's like would you rather like eat out your mom or suck your dad's dick?
I remember hearing that. I was like, what the
It's
fuck? I was like,
yeah,
that's
it's
wild.
like
That was the first like interaction I had with this character.
dude, like you've definitely like had some out of pocket like would you rather's with your
I feel
friends
like I've
before.
never had one that out of
Nah,
pocket.
that was OD, but like
Yeah,
the fact that like they're kids, like they're idiots, like they're gonna
yeah.
like talk like that, you
They
know?
talk out of that. Yeah, no, no.
And it's like you don't see people like being that authentic, like with script writing, you know?
No.
Um, yeah, like to me, this is like my definitive coming of age movie.
Yeah.
Um, I really really enjoyed this. Like you said, the music phenomenal. My favorite character though is probably Sonny, if I had to pick. But I also really love what's his face? Not fuck shit. The other guy.
Oh, the black dude.
Yeah, I'm forgetting his name for some
What's
reason.
his name? He was. I actually really liked his
Oh,
character.
Ray. Ray. Yeah, I really like Ray. He I don't know. He's not my favorite, but and if you like look him up, he's actually a sick skater. Like he has like clips
That's
online
awesome.
and like they all like know how to actually skate, which is cool. Like skateboarding in general, I think is kind of cool. Like it's kind of something I
Yeah.
wish I did when I was
I
younger.
like wanted to. After I watched that movie, I was like, damn, I wish I could skate.
Yeah. Yeah, some of my friends at school like skated, but I was never, it's kind of something I feel like you got to learn when you're
Learn
young,
when you're young. Yeah.
because then like when you're young and you like fall, like you're not really gonna get hurt.
Yeah. But when you're older, yeah.
But there was
But
also
yeah.
a couple. I mean, the cast isn't anything crazy, bro.
Nah,
Like
it really isn't.
the
Besides that,
mom, the mom is known, Catherine Waterston. She's a pretty well-known actress. And then like his older brother, Lucas Hedges,
mhm.
he's like the love interest in Lady Bird. I don't know
Who
if you remember
the
the
one that turns
older.
out to be gay?
Yes. Actually,
Really?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and like on Letterboxd, I know you could check like in the stats, you can see like who your highest rated actor is based on what
Hmm.
they've been in, and he is like my number one highest rated actor. Just because like every movie that he's been in that I've seen, I gave mad high ratings. Excuse me, which is like weird,
Yeah.
but like he's just like he doesn't like stand out, but he's just like in good movies,
No, yeah.
you know.
I mean, it's always a good thing.
Also, the girl from Euphoria, Alexa Demi. She,
Oh
do you
yeah,
know her?
yeah, yeah,
She plays like the girl that like hooks up with Sonny's
yeah,
character. What, did you think that scene was kind of weird?
yeah. He's like fucking. He's supposed to be like, how young is he in that?
Like 12 or 13.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Dude, also the actor is like was like 13 at the time and
That's what I'm saying.
she was like 20 or something.
How like that's allowed?
I mean, yeah, it is. Like for a film, it's
Yeah,
allowed. But yeah, I always thought that was a little bit weird. Um but yeah, I
yeah,
liked how there was this dynamic where it's like Hold on, I want to get Sonny scared. All right, so Sonny, his name is Stevie. So there's like this dynamic where Stevie kind of has like the devil and the angel on his shoulder, where
Yeah,
it's like Ray, who's like he loves to skate and like he's not like a perfect kid, but he like knows you shouldn't be like drinking alcohol and like at
yeah,
that age, and he's like the good influence, and like fuck shit is the one who gets like messed up, and he's like, oh, we got to go party and like we got to drink, and it's
yeah,
sort of like him struggling to like choose who to listen to because you see like he really likes Ray,
yeah.
but
He
he
like
also like tries to get drunk. Like remember when he tries to like chug the beer and the
yeah in the bathroom.
Mm. And he ends up like fighting
That kid.
the kid and like
Yeah,
you
that
sort of seeing
another scene I actually forgot to mention is like when he meets one of the first kids he meets. What's that kid's name? The kid he fights.
I forget. Hold on.
But basically, he's like one of the first characters that he interacts with, and they're smoking together. And he's like, oh, do you want to smoke? And he's like, yeah, thank you. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, only gay people say thank you. And it's just like, man,
Yeah,
it's just like these kids are so fucking stupid.
I know. Yeah, that kid's like a bully, basically. Like
Yeah,
he's trying to like act tough in front of the kid, in front of
like
Stevie.
intimidate him and stuff.
Yeah.
He tries to be like Steve tries to be nice to him.
And yeah, when it comes to like my favorite scene, I could think of there's like three scenes that are like tied.
I know my favorite scene.
One of them is when Stevie like gets enough of his brother, basically, and he says like, "You have no friends. You like get no girls," and they're like chasing each other around like the fridge, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden like the older brother just like breaks down and starts like hysterical crying.
Yeah, when I saw that, I had to pause the movie for a second because I thought like maybe his brother like hit him in the eye or something. Like I was confused.
I think it could be that like for one he could tell like because the reason why that happens because Stevie like came home drunk and like
Excuse me.
his brother's like, yo, like what the fuck are you doing? Like
Yeah.
what are you doing? And then like it was like him crying because like his brother's like becoming a fuck up and he's
Yeah.
like realizing that. Or it also could have been like the shit that he said to him like actually like hit when he said like you have no friends and like all this
Yeah.
shit. But I don't know, I really love that scene. And then like after like Stevie tries to like strangle himself.
Yeah, with the remote, with the whatever that was.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites. And then another one is the car crash scene.
I knew that was happening, and like I felt so tense. Like when they, as soon as like I saw he was driving, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I knew it was happening.
Yeah, and then like fourth grade, I think is his name. The one who was on the camera.
Yeah.
It's like right when he's like, yo, can you please just pull over? And like as he's saying that, like the crash happens.
Yeah.
And that scene always affected me because like when like the way that scene is like edited and shot, it's just like all of a sudden it's like a second, and then like next thing you know, like the
Silent.
car
Yeah.
is upside down, and it's like they're all screaming and like the car is like beeping. That's like you were in the car when we got into that accident, right? Or no?
Yeah.
That's like exactly how that felt for me in the car. It literally was like a second, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, mom was like, "Everyone, like, get out of the car," and like that reminded me of that happening to me when I was a kid. Like obviously under different
Yeah. I feel
circumstances.
like honestly, now that you point that out, I feel like anytime people drive cars in movies, like especially like regular movies, not action movies, 'cause I know like that's a little, but I always get like tense. I don't know, maybe that's because we got into that action when we were younger.
Could be.
Now that I think
I
about it.
don't know. Yeah, it could be like some psychological block or
Yeah.
something. But,
Anyway,
but yeah, I thought that scene was done very well.
yeah.
But then like my actual favorite scene is like after the fight, after Stevie gets into a fight with the other kid. I
Yeah.
forget what they call him. I forget what his nickname is. But when Ray kind of like comforts him and like takes him under his wing, and he's like, he basically like talks to him about how like you gotta like appreciate what you have. And like fourth
Hmm.
grade, like he like can't even afford socks. He was saying, and then he just like, oh yeah, Ray talks about how like his younger brother died,
Yeah.
and like all his friends would, whenever he was like really down bad about it, his friends would drag him out to come skate. They would like force him to come skate to make him
Yeah.
feel better. And he basically like forces Stevie to
And
like come
he's like, let's
skate
go
with him.
skate.
Yeah. And then they end up like falling asleep together in the park.
No, but there's a scene like right after that. The scene of them like driving down, like riding down that boulevard where like the cars going, like all like nice cars driving past and
Yeah.
like the sunset. Like that was like my favorite shot in the movie.
Yeah, that's a really like beautiful scene. Like a beautifully shot
Yeah.
scene. It looks like really cool. But there's like so many moments like that. And this is
Yeah.
like the movie just feels like so real. Like if you told me that like these were real people and like there was like a camera crew following them, like I would actually believe it,
Yeah.
you know? Um, but for yeah,
When did he wrote this, Jonah Hill?
I think so. He definitely directed. I don't know if he wrote it, but let me check.
I know his next thing he's doing something with Keanu Reeves.
Really?
Yeah.
Um, Jonah Hill directed, produced. Oh yeah, he wrote it as well. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. Um,
Let's see what I know him like he's involved in Keanu Reeves dark comedy Outcome lands at Apple.
I'm sure it'll be good. But yeah. So wait, what was your favorite scene? You said.
That scene where he's like, let's go skate and they
Oh,
skate
okay,
down
okay.
there, yeah.
Yeah. Then who's your favorite character? I said mine was Stevie, but it's like between Stevie and Ray. I really
Yeah.
like both of them.
I liked Ray, honestly. Well, I
Yeah.
think I like Ray a little bit more. I just think that he's like so. I like it how he's like so motivated. Like he wants to be a pro skater, and he's so passionate. And I like how he feels for like fuck shit because like he said how that we talked about how like they both used to be like so good, and then like fuck shit just started to like focus on like
Yeah.
he's like, oh, he just wanted to get high and drink, and he's like sad about it, you know. And even the scene of like him when he's trying to like network with the pros, and he kind of makes fuck shit go away.
Yeah, because he's like he's like
Yeah,
drunk and he's
you
like
could tell like he doesn't want to hurt his feelings. It's just like
yeah.
he takes it seriously.
Yeah.
It's not like a joke.
Yeah, and wait, just for context, if you guys are
Yeah, yeah,
confused listening, like the character's name
it's fuck shit.
is fuck shit. Like that's what they call him. So that's why we've been saying that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess I mean, I don't have much to say about it. It's like a simple film. It's very
yeah.
short. It's less than 90 minutes.
There's not really
Um,
like a huge like overarching plot. You just kind of watch him.
like grow, like
Yeah,
figure out, like figure out himself, figure
yeah,
out like his life. I also love how it ends, where fourth grade like is like, yo, you guys want to see what I've been recording, and it shows like the actual clips of like
yeah.
what he got on his camera. I really liked how they did that.
How much did it cost to make?
I don't know, it had to be like pretty damn cheap. There's
Let's
no
see.
like star talent, and like the movie's less than 90 minutes.
Let's see, mid-90s. Uh, they made 250,000. Damn,
Yeah, that ain't much. It says the budget's 1.7 million.
that's crazy for
And
250.
no, 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 it says the budget's 1.7 million and it made 9.3 million in the box office.
Why did I say what? What am I? Oh, maybe this is like all time now.
I'm
This is,
looking at Wikipedia.
so am I. It says opening week.
Bro, go on Wikipedia, mid-90s. And then like
Oh, I'm on. Never mind. I'm on the numbers.
whatever, either way. It says it was made for 1.7, made 9.3. So with like 10 times its money almost. Or more like 5 times its
Yeah,
money.
it made like yeah. So it opened up. It said like nine worldwide 9 million. But it said all time. It's gross like oh no, never mind. This is just DVD sales and shit. But still, that's pretty big.
Yeah. Um but yeah, that's really it. I guess
Yeah.
to get to ratings. This one, like it was at one point my favorite movie of all time, but it has like fallen because of Arrival. But to me, it's a 5 out of 5. I could just sit and just watch it over and over. Like I could watch it right now again if I wanted to. I'll never get
Yeah.
tired of it. I think it's very well made. It's like very personal, and I don't know. I just really love it. I'd recommend everyone to watch it. It's on Max. And like I said, it's like
Yeah.
less than 90 minutes. So
Yeah. Um, I did really enjoy it. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I still prefer. I know they're two different things, but my favorite like coming of age is like super bad. I know they're like two completely different style. I mean, they're like comedies, but it's like different. Like this is much more of like a deeper.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is way more like obviously Superbad is like a lot funnier.
Yeah.
You know,
But this is like a lot more of like thought provoking type of.
and like it's kind of funny because like Jonah Hill was in Superbad.
Yeah, he wrote. Then he wrote Superbad too. I think.
Did he? At that age?
I'm pretty sure. Wait, let me check.
No, Seth Rogen wrote it. Apparently,
Oh,
I'm
are you
looking.
sure? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it says it on Letterboxd. But yeah, so you gave it a 4.5.
Yeah,
All right, that's crazy. You had what? You had three 4.5s, right? This
yeah,
episode.
yeah. I
I
mean,
had
you
two
had.
fives.
Yeah,
This might be our highest rated episode so far.
yeah. We'll see how next week Haunted Mansion holds up.
Yeah, maybe Haunted Mansion will
Maybe
be the
they're a
five
five
star.
star. Yeah,
Let me hold on. I'm gonna go to our questions. You do our Q&A quick, and we'll wrap this up because I think we've been going for a while.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay. First question from at CPA Mom of Three asks, name some movies with super low budgets that turn very high profits. Well, first one that comes to mind is obviously Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. Let's say Blair Witch Project.
Like we're talking about budgets in like
The thousands.
the 10,000s maybe to
Yeah,
make like I think Paranormal Activity made like would cost like 10,000.
and
It
it
made like
made like
200 million or something. Like ridiculous numbers
yeah,
compared to like what it was made for. Blair Witch I know is another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's
yeah,
another really cheap one. It's a lot of the times it's horror because those
yeah,
tend to be the cheapest films to make. Off the
yeah,
top of my head, I'm trying to think. Um, yeah, like even we saw this year, like Insidious 5, it made back its money within like 2 days already.
yeah,
This horror is just cheaper to make. It just does so well for some reason.
yeah.
But yeah, my go-to, I guess, is Paranormal Activity. It's like the first one I thought of.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, probably
question
Blair Witch.
from at rob.imperato.
Big
Thanks.
question.
Yeah,
He's
thanks,
always supporting,
Rob.
dude. Yeah.
You're keeping it coming. What is Nolan's top 5 films? That is a great question. And
Uh,
this is what I'll give them my list because I'm pretty sure I know it. I would say my top 5 from him are um, Oppenheimer number 1, Dark
yeah,
Knight
probably
2,
Oppenheimer. Yeah,
um, The Prestige at 3,
never seen the
Interstellar at
Prestige.
4, and then Tenet at 5, I would say.
And then I had the same for the first two, and then probably Inception at 3. Uh, Dark Knight Rises at 4, and then Dunkirk at 5.
I wasn't a big fan of Dunkirk. And I also
Honestly,
did
I watched it like at- like 5 years ago.
I
Like I
didn't
don't even
really
think I have it reviewed on Letterboxd.
I didn't really like Inception either. I think Inception's better than Dunkirk, but I think that's one of Nolan's more overrated movies.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like I said, like I'm not even the hugest Nolan fan, to be honest with you. But,
yeah,
but yeah, I think Oppenheimer's gonna be in a lot of people's at least like top 3 of
yeah,
his. I know a lot of people like on film Twitter and stuff are saying it's his best.
yeah. I mean, it's my favorite so far. I still haven't seen The Prestige.
Yeah, you would love that one. But all right, then we got one more question from at Tom.Lieberman_. Thanks, Tom, for the question. Think of some funny movie ideas if they came out together. Like like Barbie and Oppenheimer. That's a good one.
Uh, FNAF and something. I don't know. Anything with FNAF, really.
How about Killers of the Flower Moon and Morbius double
They're
feature?
pretty, yeah. Remember, wait, do you remember when, who's the actor that like, reposted the fake quote of
Oh,
Martin Scorsese saying, like, oh,
Tyrese Gibson.
yeah.
There's like a fake quote of
Yeah.
like Martin Scorsese saying Morbius is pure cinema,
Yeah.
and then like Tyrese Gibson posted it was like, "Wow, I'm so humbled right now that this man actually said this. He's a genius. Go see Morbius." Like, and it was like an obviously fake quote.
Yeah.
Or maybe I would say, I know one that actually did happen was like Mamma Mia and The Dark Knight came out in the same weekend,
Yeah.
which is funny because that's like another Nolan, The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that. Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is like the biggest like thing that.
Yeah, this is probably one of the biggest, at least in recent memory.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of something that's like all like pretty, like girly, and then like you know
Yeah.
another one that's like for the guys.
For the dudes.
I would say hmm, like The Wolf of Wall Street and like The Wolf of Wall Street going up against Clueless could be crazy.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I kind of want to plot The Rock and Jared Leto against each other in some way.
What
The
even? What
the
kind of
obvious
thing?
one would be Black Adam and Morbius
Obvious.
releasing the
That's like
same
too
day.
obvious.
Yeah,
Maybe like
maybe like
he's doing that Christmas
Rampage.
movie that he's getting paid like $50 million to
Oh
do.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Uh, what is it called? Whatever
Red One.
the red one. 50 million. That's insane, dude. Like,
I
you
don't know
know,
if that's what it's called, but I think so.
people like that's like a lot of. Think about the movies that have been made for less than $50 million.
Yeah, bro, it's fun. It's his production company is making the fucking movie. He's
Yeah,
literally paying
playing
himself.
himself. Yeah.
But just add it to the list. Add it to the list of reasons why I don't fuck with The Rock.
All right. So
But
the Red Notice and then I don't even know the next Aliens movie. That's
I don't
probably
know.
funny.
Whatever, bro. If we could like sit down and actually
Think
think
about
about
it.
it, we
Yeah.
could think of some funny ones.
Yeah.
But all right.
That's a pretty good question. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good question. Thanks for that. That's all right. We could wrap up today's episode, I would say.
Yeah.
It's been a long one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I
it
mean, we had
was
a lot to talk about. Yeah.
yeah, it was Barbenheimer. So I guess you want to recommend the movie, and then I'll say what list we should do next week. What top
Yeah.
10?
So after watching Barbie, I kind of want to start to watch more of Ryan Gosling. So I'm gonna recommend Blade Runner 2049, which I haven't seen. I saw the original. I didn't really like the original Blade Runner, but apparently this is like one of the best. You said one of the best legacy sequels, right?
Yeah.
So
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to rewatch it anyway. So, and
yeah,
wait, you said you saw the original Blade
I
Runner, right?
saw the original. Yeah,
Oh yeah, no, that'll be cool. Then
I,
the list I wanted to do next week is I wanted us to think of our top 10 funniest movies.
okay.
Just because I thought Barbie was very funny,
Yeah, honestly, Barbie's
and
probably in my top 10. I'm not gonna lie.
if I like think about like they don't have to be comedies or anything. Well, I mean,
No, no,
I'm
yeah,
sure most of them will be, but like just like your top 10 funniest films. So we'll do that in the next
yeah,
episode. So I think next episode will be it's the new Ninja Turtles. I think, right?
yeah. Ninja Turtles, Haunted Mansion, and uh, Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited for Haunted Mansion. I don't know why.
The trailer. I mean, when I saw the trailer, I watched it this morning when I was seeing Barbie,
Yeah,
and it looks pretty good.
yeah. Apparently, like all the reviews so far, people said it's like actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. It has like $150 million budget.
Yeah, and it's releasing in
July.
August or
I
July.
feel like why would they not release it like in like September or like bro, like they could have literally released it like Memorial Day weekend, and that would have been more like it probably would have done better or
I
would
don't
do
know.
better.
Why does Disney do what they do?
Like
Who
I
knows?
don't understand. And the movie actually looks like promising, and the cast is good.
All right, well, whatever. We'll talk about it next
Yeah,
episode. So yeah, make sure you guys go out and watch Haunted Mansion. Go watch the new Ninja Turtles movie.
Turtles movie. Yeah,
Watch Blade
like
Runner,
West Blade
please.
Runner.
The new one. I don't like the original, to be honest.
Yeah,
Also, yeah,
neither do I.
think of make some top 10 of your own too. Make a
Yeah,
top 10 funniest movies. Send it to us. We'll see what we think.
yeah.
So
I'll be in. I'm leaving for Hollywood tomorrow. I'm gonna finally visit.
if you see The Rock walking the streets, tell him I
Yeah,
said what's up.
to get in. I want to see if I get in on that $50 million fucking Christmas movie that he's on.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Peace.